Parties on Mathis versus Robinson Leggett. Step forward, please.
31-year-old Stephanie Mathis says wedding planners, 40-year-old Charles Robinson and 28-year-old John Leggett didn't provide enough food and champagne for her wedding day. She wants her money back. They say they offered a partial refund.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 86 on the calendar in the matter of Mathis versus Robinson Leggett. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Just got married. Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Don't look so dour. Are you happily married?
Yes.
Good. So they couldn't spoil that.
No, they couldn't.
No, ma'am.
Good. According to your complaint, you hired these two gentlemen to help prepare your wedding. And it was a big wedding. How many people were you expecting?
About 200.
And how many people did you pay for?
200.
How many people showed up?
About 150, maybe 170.
Okay. You say that these two wedding coordinators ruined your wedding.
Yes.
Tell me how.
They were hired to decorate the church, do all the bouquets, the girls' flowers, my bouquet, and they were to decorate the hall and prepare the food and have the food served. They did not have any programs for our wedding. The night at the rehearsal, when everyone had left, Mr. Leggett had pulled my mother-in-law aside and asked her for $50 more to do the programs.
How much had you agreed to pay them to do this wedding?
They had got total of $2,000.
$2,000 for 200 people?
Yes, ma'am.
What were they supposed to have served?
Well, we had a menu. It was chicken, there was ham, there was to be green beans, almondine, tossed salad, assorted rolls, fruit cups, which neither of those we had. We had just the meat portion. We had green beans, and then we had mixed vegetables. With green beans are already in mixed vegetables. So that was.
Who was supposed to do the food?
I did the food, Your Honor.
What happened with the food?
Well, Mr. Matthews' mother contacted me in December and asked me about coordinating the wedding. I agreed to do so. I later found out that the gentleman that she had contracted to do the wedding, to do the reception, had absconded with $2,300. And she was upset and concerned about that. I informed her not to be concerned, that I would do the reception for her as a favor for $800 for 250 guests. I did the reception for
You have a contract?
No, this was a verbal agreement. Mrs. Dunnigan is the godmother to my niece, so as a favor to her, I did it strictly for the cost of the food. The menu consisted of roast beef, ham, fried chicken, baked chicken, shrimp Alfredo, muscatoli, string beans.
For $800 for 250 people?
Yes. Mrs. Dunnigan is a very generous person when it comes to my niece and my family, and I felt that that was the least I could do, considering that she had already been ripped off.
So did you give them everything that you said you were going to?
No, Your Honor. They did not have almonds in the string beans, and they did not have assorted rolls. And the reason that I had to cut back was because of cost. At the last minute, Mrs. Dunnigan informed me that no provisions had been made for the bride's bouquet, and she wanted me to do the bouquet. And because of that, I had to do I did the bride's bouquet, which did not meet with her satisfaction, but it was an all rose white bouquet. I also, in the process, the shrimp Alfredo, rather than getting the mini shrimp, I had to end up using jumbo shrimp. So I had to cut back in some areas. So I did not get the almonds, and the assorted rolls were 12 cents a piece. The regular egg rolls, dinner rolls, were 4 cents a piece. So I opted for the 4-cent rolls because of economics.
Did everybody get fed?
Your Honor, I served 283 people. I was prepared to serve 250 people. So as a result, we ran out of chicken. There were food that was left over that Mrs. Dunnigan took home with her.
Was it your mother who
Yes,
had made
ma'am.
all the arrangements with him?
Yes, ma'am. Her and my wife. Yes, ma'am.
How much did you yourself pay him?
My mother-in-law paid.
Your mother-in-law paid?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, she's not suing him.
Your Honor.
Just a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
No problem.
Your arrangement was with,
Mrs. Dunnigan.
and you had no out-of-pocket losses. Is that right?
My husband did. He and his mother paid. They paid together.
Show me, sir. Show me. You show me the check to him.
Well, his mother made it out.
Right. All right. Now, you, sir, were supposed to do what with regard to the wedding?
I was in charge of decorating and coordinating the actual wedding, coordinating the rehearsal, decorating the church, and decorating the reception hall.
Now, you say in your answer, you're Mr. Leggett?
Yes, Your Honor.
You say that you believe that these people are entitled to a $350 refund
Yes, Your Honor.
because there were certain things that you did not do.
Yes, Your Honor.
What did you not do?
The programs, they commented about programs. The night before the wedding rehearsal, Miss Dunnigan, the groom's mother, gave me $50 to have the programs done. I did not get the information for the programs, all of the information such as everybody's name, the correct spelling, and who was the soloist and who was this, to do that until that day before. Having to go home and finish last-minute things, I didn't have time to do that. I gave Miss Dunnigan that $50 back. We did not sign a contract for that. It was just her word against mine. She gave me the $50. I took it back to her house. Yes.
Okay.
They did not have programs.
Okay. You don't need a program to get married. Everybody knows what happens. You walk down the aisle, the minister says something nice, and that's it. So, next.
The other thing was a balloon backdrop at the reception. They wanted a balloon backdrop. This was in an American Legion Hall, which had the drop ceilings. When I got there to actually set up, it wasn't going to work. So we didn't have the balloon backdrop, which I explained, the reason for that. The other thing, on the day of the wedding, I arrived at the church to set up and decorate the church. I arrived there was no one there. I went back to the church at 10 a.m. Mind you, the wedding starts at 4. I have to decorate the church and the reception hall. I waited there from 10 o'clock until 12:30. No one was there. He finally opened the door at 12:30. I found out that he was there but asleep and did not hear me. So what I did is I opted to stay at the church with the arch, with the candelabras, the tulle, the ribbon, the flowers, and everything, and I sent my sister and my brother-in-law on to the reception hall to go ahead and decorate the reception hall so that we wouldn't be running late. 4 o'clock, the wedding was to start. I was ready to start. The decorations were done. We were waiting for the musician.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Nobody in their right mind contracts for the kinds of things, including a champagne toast for $800 for 200 people.
So why couldn't he show us receipts? I asked for $1,100 in receipts.
He doesn't have to show
them.
you anything. You didn't pay for anything. His mother paid for everything.
Yeah, I'm asking.
And she's not unhappy because she's not here.
And later today,
You had a verbal agreement with him that he would start to contribute to the support of the household when he got on his feet. Yes, Your Honor. And when he got on his feet, he used them to leave.
Yes.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stephanie Mathis claims Charles Robinson and John Leggett ruined her wedding when they didn't provide enough food and champagne for her guests.
How much in total were you paid to do this wedding for 200 people?
I was paid $800.
Period.
Period.
And how much were you paid, sir?
I was paid a total of $1,100.
So you, sir, for $800 provided food for 200 people. You say 283. She says, how many people? 200?
150 to 170.
Even 170 people for $800, madam. He doesn't owe you a penny. He doesn't owe you a quarter. He doesn't owe your mother a quarter. And the things that you did, was the church decorated?
Halfway. We had no unity candle stand, whereas Mr. Leggett
What
said
did you have?
he had an arch with some tulle. There was tulle on the pews with some bows, and there were two candelabras.
Okay, and what about the reception hall?
There was basically no decorations there. I have pictures that show there's no decorations on the table. There was no, like he said, no balloon drop. We were to have balloons on each table. I had scrolls I had bought that he had rolled for me. He would have them on the table. The napkins with our names were to be on the table. There were no decorations on the table whatsoever.
Your Honor, may I interrupt? That's not true. The scrolls were given out. I had a satin basket that I made.
At the end of the evening.
I had a satin basket that I had covered to put the scrolls. I showed her that before the wedding. I said, this will be ideal for your scrolls. She gave me the scrolls. I rolled them, and I put the little rings on them. They were giving out after the wedding. It is customary to give them out at the reception after the wedding. You don't want to thank someone for coming to your wedding at the beginning. Her ushers and hostesses gave those scrolls out. The napkins with that had the embossed name on them and the little heart, they were on the cake table. We used those for decorations.
This gentleman says that he's prepared to give you back $350, meaning that the total that was spent for your wedding for approximately, let's take a mid-figure, 200 people is $1,450. And that includes some decoration for the church, food, your corsage, which he made.
But it's not right. It was not the one I chose.
Listen to me. Miss Mathis, you paid $1,450 and you served 200 people at a wedding. You had a wedding for $1,400. I don't see how you can complain about that.
He did not provide the champagne we were to have. This picture shows we had punch. There was to be champagne for just the head table so we could toast.
Let me tell you
was just
something.
Punch.
Let me tell you something. What he was doing for you was doing a gift for your mother. He was doing a gift for your mother because nobody in their right mind contracts for the kinds of things, including a champagne toast for $800 for 200 people.
So why couldn't he show us receipts? I asked for $1,100 in receipts.
He doesn't have to show you anything. You didn't pay for anything. His mother paid for everything.
Your Honor,
and she's not unhappy because she's not here.
She is unhappy.
Then, if she was unhappy, she'd be suing him. She can't be unhappy. $800 to serve 200 people?
He got $900. There's receipts here.
$900 to serve?
He didn't do $900 worth of work. He had his niece serving, who he said he had people to help him serve. He had his sister, who was a guest at our wedding, pulled up to serve food, and his niece to serve food. He said he had people to help him. They'd be dressed in white shirts with black pants. When we met with them 2 weeks after the wedding to go through all this, neither of them felt we were required to get any money back, not even only Mr. Leggett $150. But they did not contact us after that to even go through anything for any of this.
You know something, Miss Mathis? I would suggest that you devote your energies to much more serious things. You had a wedding for $1,400 for 200 people. You ought to say thank you to him instead of suing him. This case is dismissed. That's all.
You are excused. You may step out.
It's hard for a judge or anyone to really see anything from outside. And basically, they know what went on from the inside.
I think one of the things that they need to realize is poor planning on their part does not create an emergency on mine.
And now the next case.
Party's on Kirshner versus Cloud. Step forward, please.
School teacher Paula Kirshner is suing her former live-in lover, Dr. Thomas Cloud, for back rent and expenses.
Miss Kirshner.
Yes. You and the defendant, according to your complaint, were involved romantically. He moved into your home.
Yes, he did.
How long did he live in your home?
3.5 years.
And according to your complaint, you had a verbal agreement with him that he would start to contribute to the support of the household when he got on his feet.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when he got on his feet, he used them to leave.
Yes. That's
right?
Exactly the scenario.
Anything else you want to tell me?
That's basically the story.
That's basically the story.
That's basically the story.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This man hasn't even been out of the United States. I have been all over the world.
You don't look like a lady who needs her social status elevated.
Thank you.
Especially by somebody who can't pay his own rent.
Thank you.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. School teacher Paula Kirshner is suing her former live-in lover, Dr. Thomas Cloud, for back rent and expenses.
You have, Mr. Cloud, some interesting defenses to this action. The last one I found particularly interesting, that you elevated the plaintiff's social status by introducing her to a more cultural experience.
Yes.
You want to run that past me just once?
Well, when I first met her, she was not actively social. She was mostly homely, and I carried her out to.
She was mostly
homely,
homely. No, but this lady was never homely. This is a very good-looking lady. You mean she was a homebody?
Homebody.
Oh, okay.
And I would by being a physician, I would, be invited to several of the medical societies meetings and conferences and balls, etc. And we would go to those kind of events.
You're a physician?
Yes.
Why does a physician need time at your age, sir, to get on his feet?
Well, I went back to medical school and started a fellowship, which paid very little. It was a resident program at USC where they paid just a stipend.
Mm-hmm. That is not the truth.
What's not the truth?
Everything he said is a lie.
You mean about?
Number one, I have never been a homebody. He did not elevate my social status. I travel all over the world, Your Honor. This man hasn't even been out of the United States. I have been all over the world.
You don't look like a lady who needs her social status elevated.
Thank you,
especially by somebody who can't pay his own rent.
Thank you.
All right. So, but Mrs. Kirshner, you have a problem, a legal problem. See, according to your papers, you made an agreement with him.
Yes.
And your agreement with him was, you can come live here, get on your feet, and as soon as you get on your feet, I'm relying on you to contribute to the support of the household.
Yes.
And what we said at the beginning of this case was that when he got on his feet, he left.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the point in which you, even if it was a verbal contract, once he got on his feet, he left. So he was never able to fulfill his part of the contract. So you can't go back and say, well, now you owe me for the 3 years that we lived together, now that you have the money. Can't say that. It's not the way things work. What kind of business are you in?
I'm a teacher. And when he came to live with me, he did not have a medical license. He was just released from federal prison.
What was he in prison for?
Medical fraud.
Had you been involved with the medical profession before, sir?
Yes.
He had no money. He went back to SC. The only reason he got into that program because it gave him a $1,500 stipend a month. And that was his income for a year.
Did you know all this when he came to live with you?
I knew very little of it. I knew some of it. A mutual friend of ours who is an attorney who was very instrumental in helping him get his release from federal prison, introduced us. He introduced him. He was a totally different person then. He was very meek, he was very humble, and very appreciative and very manipulative.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You look like a very stylish lady, madam.
Thank you very much.
And you don't look as if you need anybody to help you rise
I'm
in the social
the one that
ladder.
Helped him get back into that.
But you made a
social
mistake.
I made a huge mistake.
So
I misjudged his character.
Put a
He
period.
changed.
Put a period, and move on. But from a legal sense, that agreement to pay rent was not triggered until he got on his feet. And when he got on his feet, he didn't stay, he left. Correct?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Kirshner, you made a mistake. You're a smart, good-looking lady. Put a period, move on with your life. Understand? This case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Parties on Ogene versus Hall. Step forward, please.
19-year-old student Jacqueline Ogene says her former boyfriend, 18-year-old Andre Hall, crashed her car twice and assaulted her, breaking her cheekbone.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 100 on the calendar in the matter of Ogene versus Hall. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Are you her father?
Yes.
What's your first name, Miss Ogene?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, according to your complaint, you and the defendant were a couple when you were teenagers.
Yes.
How old are you now?
I'm 19.
How old are you, sir?
18.
And you started to live together with your parents' permission.
Well, no, that's not true. I was moving away to go to college, and his mom was moving to the same town, and my dad offered to pay half the rent while I was in college, and I needed a roommate. As soon as I moved to Buffalo, I didn't have a roommate. I put up signs and stuff, and...
So you chose him as a roommate?
It was supposed to only be temporary.
So your father paid for half the rent and his mother paid for half the rent?
Yes.
But you were boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yes.
And according to this complaint, you bought a car.
Yes.
He had an accident with the car, and he drove the car again, and he wrecked the car.
Yes.
And then, when you ultimately separated, you had an argument, and he broke your jaw.
Yes.
So let's start at the beginning. You moved in together. Both going to college?
No, I dropped out.
Then what were you doing in Buffalo?
I live in Buffalo.
So what were you doing when you were living with her?
Working.
Okay. And you were driving her car?
Yes.
You had an accident?
Yes.
First one?
Yes.
Why don't you tell me about it?
I backed into a truck.
And you caused damage to the truck?
Yes.
Did you pay for it?
No.
Why?
Because I didn't get the bill. She got the bill.
Did you say, could I have the bill?
No.
Why not?
Because she had the bill.
That should have been your first clue. Right? So this bill for the damaged truck that he backed into is still outstanding.
Yes.
And how much was the damage to the truck that he hit?
$937.02.
So after he drove your car, backed into the truck, which he didn't pay for, you let him drive the car again.
Yes, I did.
Why?
Well, because at the time he still said, well, you know, he said it was his fault, and he said since it was his fault, he would pay for it. And
but according to this complaint, he left the scene of the accident.
Yes, I know.
Is that right?
Yes.
When you hit the truck, you took off.
Yes.
Why?
Because I didn't want a ticket.
What kind of work were you doing?
What kind of work was I doing? Just working.
Listen, this isn't 20 questions and I got a secret. When I ask you a question, don't give me a ridiculous
I worked
answer.
at a
Working. I
fast
said, what
food
kind of work
restaurant.
were you doing?
A fast food restaurant.
Okay. So they tracked you down, I gather. Somebody got the license plate number and they tracked you down.
Yes.
Did they notify your father?
No.
Just you?
Yes.
So you let him drive the car again because according to these papers, he had to go return a video or something?
No, after he had gotten in the accident, when he hit the truck, he was going to Batavia, where we're from, to get money from a friend.
And tell me what happened.
He went around a curve too fast and ran into another truck. I have the accident report here.
Well, would you hand it up to Bird, please? So you went into another truck, Mr. Hall,
Yes.
and you totaled the car this time.
Yes.
You're not a very good driver.
The roads are bad.
The roads are bad.
Yeah. It was snowing.
So this car had to be sold, and according to your papers, it was sold for practically no money because it was totaled.
Right. My dad sold it for $400.
Is that right, sir?
Yes. After Andre
Step up here.
after Andre had the accident, he signed the car over into my name, and I paid the towing bill and the storage fee for
What do you
it.
mean he signed it over into your name? It was in his name?
Yes, they had.
What was the car doing in his name?
After he got in the first accident, my insurance is higher than his, and he had just got his, and I had to put the down payment on the insurance in order for the police to release the car because it was involved in an accident. So I had to sign the car in his name and put the insurance in his name because I couldn't afford it in my name because mine was higher than his.
Yours was higher than his, and he had already been in an accident?
He had just gotten his license like a month before that.
Don't you feel foolish?
Yes.
So I paid the towing and the storage bill on the car and sold it to whoever I could get the highest from. As of last week, I have 3 figures that the car was valued at $4,400 for the average.
Yeah, but she gave the car to him.
See, I had the money to put the insurance on the car. But after he had gotten in the car accident, his was cheaper than mine, so we put in his name, but it was only supposed to be temporary. So, and then we were going to sign it back over to me just a couple months later, just because the down payment mine was higher than his.
Is that right, sir?
No, she had no license, and that's why she signed the car over to my name.
She had no driver's license?
No, her license was suspended.
Was it?
Yes.
For what?
Because I had gotten, just from tickets, I had gotten tickets that I didn't pay.
Another part of this equation is that Andre hasn't worked since I've known him for more than a week straight at any time. Jackie was working as a certified nurse's assistant, and in order to get to these locations, which were not on a bus route, she needed transportation.
And going to college.
And college.
I think that your first course in college should be Nate Picking 101.
That's probably true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He disconnected the phone and handed her the receiver.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
She threw the phone back at me and chipped my teeth, and then I punched her in the mouth.
Cases, real people. Judge Judy. Former cheerleader Jacqueline O'Gene claims her ex-boyfriend, Andre Hall, crashed her car and assaulted her, breaking her cheekbone. He says he hit her in self-defense.
Now, I read in this complaint that there came a time when you finally got disgusted with him and you moved out.
Yes.
And then you say he assaulted you. I want you to tell me about that, because that's the greatest part of your claim.
We were arguing one night over something. It was stupid. We were arguing, and I said I wanted to wait till the morning to discuss it, and we just kept arguing, and one thing led to another, and he hit me.
Where did he hit you?
On my cheek.
And he broke your jaw?
My cheekbone.
Your cheekbone.
That's not how it happened.
Well, let me hear how it happened. Try to do it without smiling, sir.
Well, what happened was my friend from Batavia came down from Batavia. He was visiting me and Jackie. And when we came down, he met 2 girls. And we picked the 2 girls up, and we went to a party. We came back from a party and went to her house. And Jackie...
Oh, just a second. I have to understand this. Your friend came down, you went to a party, you met 2 girls.
Yes.
Your friend, a male friend?
Male friend.
So your male friend and the 2 girls went over to Jackie's house?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. Go ahead.
And she was intoxicated, and she was like, she was getting upset over everything, stupid things she was getting mad over.
Well,
and,
what do you walk into the house, you knock at the door,
no,
you
she
ring
was
the
with
bell.
us when we picked 2 girls up.
Oh, she was?
Yes.
Where did you pick them up?
We picked them up on at the dorms.
I mean, did you know these girls before?
No.
You just went into the dorms, hanging
No,
around?
they're
and
outside.
And you just picked them up?
Yep.
And where did you go after you picked them up?
We tried to find a party, but we couldn't find the party. So we went back to her place and drank some more. And she got drunk and started tripping over, like, everything. And the girls had left, and Joe had left. Joe took the girls back home.
So your friend took the girls back home. It was just the 2 of you in the house?
Yes. And then, like, 10 minutes later, Joe had called and said the other girl wanted to talk to me.
One of the girls wanted to talk to you?
Yeah. I was on the telephone talking to her, and Jackie came out the room, and she was like, "Who's on the telephone?" I was like, "Nobody." She's like, "Give me the phone." I said, "Okay." I took the phone cord out of the phone, gave her the telephone receiver.
Just a minute. She said, "Who are you talking to?" You said, "Nobody." That you were just standing there with the phone in your ear, right?
Yeah.
So she said, "Let me see."
Yeah.
And you disconnected the phone and handed her the receiver?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was talking to a dead phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happened?
She threw the phone back at me and chipped my teeth.
Yeah.
And then like, I punched her in the mouth.
Mm-hmm. Your Honor, that's not how it happened. What happened?
You have any bills, sir?
I didn't bring it with me.
This wasn't a surprise that you were coming here today, right?
Yeah.
It was a surprise?
No.
No. Now you tell me how it happened.
What happened was we were all out. My cousin had invited us to go to a party, and his friend from Batavia, Joe, came up, and we had gone to the store, and we were coming back from the store, and you know, he doesn't have a girlfriend, so he stopped and he was talking to some girls.
Joe doesn't have a girlfriend.
Right.
You, on the other hand, had Prince Charming over here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And Joe went back and picked the girls up, and we were all looking for the party that my cousin told me about, but we couldn't find it. So we went back to my apartment, and they left. And then we had just started arguing because we argued all the time because I just feel that everything that I ever had, Andre had started to take from me, you know, my car, everything I had worth of money he had taken. We used to argue all the time, and we were just arguing. And
Why didn't you just dump him?
I probably should have. I don't know, because yeah.
I mean, according to your father, you work?
Yes.
As what?
As a cashier and as a hostess, but I'm going to college full-time also.
In what school?
Erie Community College.
What do you want to be?
I wanted to be an accountant.
Keep having boyfriends like this, you're going to have to be an accountant.
Yeah.
Now, according to your papers, your medical bills were well over $5,000, but most of them were covered by insurance.
Yes.
Tell me about what happened to your mouth when he punched you.
At first, when I went to the emergency room, the ambulance took me there. They thought I had broken my jaw, and they thought they were going to have to wire my jaw shut. But after x-rays, I just had to have surgery to pop the bone back out. And I just couldn't talk for like 3 weeks. Couldn't open my mouth.
That was some hit, sir.
Yes, it was.
Why did you smile?
I didn't smile. You smiled at me.
I smiled at you?
Yeah.
Hardly.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You look like a pretty strong guy. That must have been some wallop you gave her to fracture her cheekbone.
I didn't mean it. I'm saying, if somebody hit you in the mouth with a telephone, you're going to swing back. And I swung back.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Jacqueline O'Jean wants her medical bills and car damages paid by her former boyfriend, Andre Hall.
Do you still see him?
No. I see him around town, like on the buses and stuff. I don't invite him over to my house or anything.
Yes, he does.
No, I don't. He has not been over to my house since it happened.
Yes, I have.
When?
I told him he could come get...
When?
Last time I was over her house was about a month ago.
A month ago?
Yeah.
What were you doing over there?
Talking.
What else?
Nothing.
Did you spend the night?
No, never.
You just went over there to talk?
Yeah. I used to come over. I used to work 11 to 7 down the street from our house, and I went over there a few times in the morning after work.
He calls me up and asks what he would do if he came over, and I said I wouldn't open the door. And he doesn't believe that, but he hasn't. He says he's come over when I haven't been there. But
How long were you out of work because of this fractured cheekbone?
2 weeks.
How much do you earn a week?
I had just started a new job because I just moved in the apartment, so I was only making $150 a week, about.
Did you report this incident to the police?
The police came and I didn't press charges on him.
Why?
I didn't want him to go to jail.
Why?
I know it was wrong, but I don't want to see him spend like a long time in jail or anything. I want him to go on with his life.
A couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks.
You look like a pretty strong guy. That must have been some wallop you gave her to fracture her cheekbone.
I didn't mean it. I'm saying, if somebody hit you in the mouth with a telephone, you're going to swing back. And I swung back. I didn't mean to break her jaw. You know, I feel bad about that, but I'm saying, if you're man enough to hit somebody, you're man enough to hit back.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
go
hit
to
him
the
with
doctor?
the phone until after.
I went to the dentist, yes.
Show me.
Right here.
Show me the bills.
Oh, I didn't bring them.
You're supposed to bring things, you
Well,
know,
I
like you're
forgot.
supposed to pay for the truck damage. You're not supposed to leave the scene of an accident. Listen, you have other children?
Yes.
How many other children do you have?
I have one son.
How old?
He's 16.
Do you ever have any talks with your daughter?
Oh, very often. I feel Jackie has come a long way since this incident and even the incidents before that. If I didn't feel that, I wouldn't have come all the way across the country with her to be here. I feel she's making big strides. She's working towards supporting herself and getting through college, and it's
She looks like a nice young lady who is irresponsible. She's irresponsible. I know that because she had tickets that she didn't pay, so her driver's license was suspended. Did you know that?
Yes.
I've worked and paid off all my fines so
I know,
far.
but you didn't pay them as you were getting them. That's part of a responsibility of having a driver's license and driving a car. You get a ticket. The first thing you do is you go home, you write out a check, and you pay it.
That's true.
Jackie's been raised realizing that there's a reasonable consequence to every action. And these have built up on her, and she's realized it now, and I feel she's straightening her life around well. However, I don't think it's fair that this guy has taken away everything that she's had and worked towards.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you. He's a good lesson.
Just to give you a little idea about the honesty of whatever his statements are, he didn't tell you that after he had punched her, he had called my house, and my wife answered, and he told her that Jackie had been jumped on the street. He didn't tell us the real story. So when we got to the hospital, which we had to drive an hour at 3 o'clock in the morning to get there to find out what was really going on, Jackie told me the real story. And so I called the police. And however, since she wouldn't press charges, they had to release him. However, they did search him, and they didn't find her keys to her apartment, her book bag, or her bus pass, or her gold necklace.
That he stole while I was in the hospital.
No, I didn't. I don't like gold. Why would I steal a gold necklace? I don't like gold.
He stole my book bag and my keys while I was in the hospital, and the next day I had to go to school. I couldn't talk. I had no book bag, no keys to my apartment. My dad had to pay $50 to get the locks changed, and then he brought the keys back 2 days later.
Let me tell you, your daughter has very bad judgment. I hope she recognizes that. But I'm going to tell you, there's something back here that suggests to me that she still communicates with him. She may not tell you that. But I get these little hairs that's standing up in the back of my neck that suggest to me that they are not totally estranged. Do you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Where are you working now, Mr. Hall?
I work at the Dollar Tree.
How many hours a day do you work?
Like 12.
And how many days a week?
4.
Good. And you living at home with your mother?
Yeah.
Good. So you got all that money, right?
I suppose.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That'll cover you $937, a little bit of lost wages, a little bit of pain and suffering, and start to use your judgment. Your medical bills were covered, right, by your insurance?
Yes.
Good. He's not a winner. Do you understand?
Yes.
He doesn't take responsibility for what he does. He was in an accident. He fled the accident. Looked around. Nobody saw me. I'm leaving. He wrecked your car. Took no responsibility for that either. And then, to add insult to injury, he used his fist, his hand, to put on your body hard enough to break a bone. All that would suggest to a normal person that this is somebody that you want to distance yourself from forever.
I know that.
Good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to you, right?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Parties on Franco versus Blancas. Step forward, please.
24-year-old medical technician John Franco wants former fiancée and mother of his 2 children, 20-year-old Yvette Blancas, to return his engagement ring.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 97 on the calendar in the matter of Franco versus Blancas. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You want your engagement ring back.
Yes.
How long have you been with this lady?
About 3 years.
And how many children do you have together?
2.
So the only thing you don't have is a marriage license.
Yes.
You had a family. Thought you'd be engaged
First.
Have kids, and then get married. How sweet. How old are you?
24.
And how old are you?
20.
20. So how old were you when you had your first baby with him?
I was 18.
Mm-hmm. What I find interesting is that you met, you were both kids. you became pregnant, and then you got engaged.
Mm-hmm.
It's not usually the way it works.
No, it's not.
Then you had a baby. Then you broke up. He had already given you a ring.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave the ring back to him. Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then you got back together again?
Yes, we did.
Tell me about that.
Well, when we broke up, we were still seeing each other. I got pregnant again, so we thought we would try to work it out.
Don't you know how to see to it that that doesn't happen?
We should have, but, I mean, I loved him a lot. And so we
Loving somebody doesn't mean that you have to have his baby.
No.
Two of them. What does your family have to say about all this?
They're upset. They don't like it. But they still love me.
Of course they still love you. So now you have 2 children. You know what my problem is, Mr. Franco? I usually believe that an engagement ring represents a promise that you're going to marry.
Mm-hmm.
And if for any reason you don't follow through with that contract to marry, then the ring should be returned. But you, Mr. Franco, you created a family, the 2 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
My problem with you is I don't think you were very honest with me in your answer.
What answer?
The answer that you wrote to his complaint. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Well, I'll tell you. He says that after you had for the second time decided to separate,
Mm-hmm.
he looked over one day and didn't find the ring in the box where you usually put it.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked you about it. And what did she tell you?
She took it to her mother for safekeeping, and then that she'd give it back, but her mom was busy and she wasn't going to jump for me, that when she got around to it, she'd bring it back. And then it was her mom's boyfriend had it in his safe, and his mother had a stroke, and he couldn't get to it. He went to go visit. He didn't. I confronted him about it, and he told me he didn't want to have anything to do with the situation, and it wasn't in the safe. So it was just lie after lie. And then when I asked her again, you know, want to tell me the story, she just said she didn't want to deal with the situation. That's why she told me what she told me.
He can say that, but that's not what happened.
Where's the ring?
I don't know. I thought he had it. I mean, we got in an argument. He told me it was over. We argued. We wrestled a little. I threw it at him. I thought he had it until he told me he didn't. Until I got served that he's taking me to court on something I don't have. And then after I told him that, he would still bug me about money. I mean, till this day, he asks me for money every day.
For what?
To help him. He threw me out of my own house with my 2 children, but he's asking me for money.
What do you mean he threw you out of your house with your 2 children?
When he decided he didn't want to, you know, he's dating someone else, he left me. He told me to leave. He said I could stay there till I got my income tax money, and then I would have to leave.
Whose house were you living in?
It's my house. I purchased the
It's
house
your
at the
house.
same time I gave her the ring.
So you purchased a house,
Mhm.
and you gave her the ring.
Yeah.
And the house is in your name.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
And when you decided to separate, you told her that she could stay for a while, but then she would have to leave.
Yes. We have a contract that we work. We have the kids equal amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't throw her and the kids out. Just I told her she needed to find a place. She was getting $4,500 back, and she's been with her mom ever since. And I mean, about the wrestling around and her throwing the ring, that's never happened. And here's the ring that she put in there that I assumed was the one that I got her until I took a closer look. And she got that in TJ from a panhandler or whatever.
How old are your children?
2 and 5 months.
Do you work, sir?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a phlebotomist, EMT.
And you work 5 days a week?
40 hours. Mm-hmm.
Who takes care of the children?
I do. I work 6 to 6. I get home. I sleep 2 hours. She drops them off at 9 in the morning, And then at 5:30, when I have to go back, I take him to the sitter, and then she picks him up when
Is
she
that
gets
right?
out of work.
Mm-hmm. He won't help. I don't like the idea that they're there, that he only has 2 hours of sleep, but he doesn't want to help me with babysitter or anything with daycare. And I can't afford it by myself.
Well, that's all right. I mean, if he wants to be a full-time father when he has the children, I think that's terrific.
Not really, though, because when they're there, he falls asleep. Something can happen to them.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We had the child before we got married.
No, you had 2 children. The first time is a mistake. Second time is stupid.
And later today,
According to these papers, she had you arrested for domestic violence.
Correct.
And when she had you arrested, another warrant fell on you that had nothing to do with her.
Correct.
The old warrants weren't her fault, sir, were they?
No.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Franco wants his engagement ring back from the mother of his 2 children, Yvette Blancas.
Mr. Franco, I really don't know where this ring is, but I'm here to tell you that you created a family. And wherever the ring is, you don't get reimbursed for it. This is not an engagement. This is almost a broken marriage. Why you 2 young people decided to have 2 children together before you decided to make a commitment that you were going to spend your lives together is something that is always beyond my imagination. You want to tell me? Maybe you know.
Well, because I was ready. I was ready to start a family. Regardless of my age, I thought this was the person for me.
So why didn't you get married?
Why didn't we? That's what we were going to do.
No. Before you had children.
Oh, before we had children.
Yes. Before.
Didn't work out that way.
What do you mean it didn't work out that way?
We had the child before we got married.
No, you had 2 children before you
Oh,
planned
yeah,
to get
2
married.
children. But I'm talking about the first time.
The first time is a mistake. Second time is stupid.
Yeah, but that was my choice.
That was your choice?
Yes.
Good. Wherever the ring is, I hope it's happy. That's all.
Others are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
I hope the ring's happy too. She's the mother of my children. I always have to deal with her, so there's nothing else I can do.
I can't give him something I don't have. I mean, I just hope we can deal calmly, because it hasn't happened like that.
And now the next case.
Bodies on Miramontes versus Sadier. Step forward, please.
19-year-old nanny Michelle Miramontes is suing her ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old mechanic Human Sadier, for loans and assault.
You were dating for about 1.5 years.
Correct.
And you took some money from her, correct?
I didn't take it, but...
What do you mean you
borrow
didn't?
it.
Shh. You took some money from her.
No. I never took money from her. She bought me gifts while we were
I
together.
didn't say that they were a loan or gift, sir. I said you took money from her. Did you take $3,000 from her?
Yes, to pay for my transmission, but she gave the money for my car to get fixed.
Okay. So how did it come about that she gave you this $3,000?
My transmission in my car went out, so I had my car in a transmission shop where she was working at the time.
Slowly.
She was working at the shop at the time.
Yes.
So I took my car there to get diagnosed, to have fixed. They saw that the transmission had completely blown out, so they had to rebuild the transmission. They rebuilt it for me at the time.
No. You take your car in, and they say to you, your transmission blew out.
Correct.
We are diagnosing you with a dead transmission.
Correct.
And you said to the diagnostician what?
I asked them how much would it cost to repair the vehicle.
And the diagnostician said what?
It started with the estimate, which was at first, I believe, $455 to pull the transmission out.
The whole thing, please, don't give me
The total was $2178.29. I have a copy if you'd like to see it.
Okay, so they repaired it.
Correct.
And then
when
it came
was
time
ready-
to go and pick it up.
When it came time to go and pick it up, Michelle had asked me, do you have enough money to pay for it? I said, no, I don't. She said, okay, I'll get the money for you, and then we'll take care of it after.
I'll get the money for you and we'll take care of it after.
Paying it off after.
Fine.
Okay.
So what did you say?
I said, okay, fine.
Good. So how much did she give
gave
you
me
at that
$3,000.
time?
I asked her for $3,000. She okayed to get me $3,000.
Okay. And we'll take care of it later.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, correct.
Did you take care of it?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Some matters came up between me and her as far as, it's a different story, but it came up, and we were splitting up at the time, and she wanted me to pay her back. I had to pay the other bills off because they were more important than paying her off and what I went through. So I canceled that, and I put that aside. And then she said, okay, if you're not going to pay me, I'll take you to court for it.
Well, here we go. So from the way we started out this case, sir, you said you didn't take any money from her. Not only did you take the money from her, but you acknowledged that it was a debt. You acknowledged that you told her you would pay her back, and then you just decided to blow it off and pay other bills, right?
Correct. I had to pay off a bail, if that's what you did.
Which bail?
My mother bailed me out, so I had to take care of that. So I paid my mother off. And that was because of her I had to go to jail for.
Well, according to these papers, she had you arrested for domestic violence.
Correct.
And when she had you arrested for domestic violence, another warrant fell on you that had been an outstanding warrant that had nothing to do with her.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So that's her fault.
No, well, domestic violence, she came to my house and she wouldn't leave.
No. But you were held because of the old warrants.
Yes. And
well, just a second. The old warrants weren't her fault, sir, were they?
No.
All right, so we got $3,000. Now, according to her papers, you paid her back $300.
Yes, I did.
So that brings it down to $2,700.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you don't even have to open your mouth. Look, you're winning, right? Isn't that great?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
After the $600, then you lent him $3,000. And then after the $3,000, you lent him another $600. You're not taking any serious medication, are you?
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. 19-year-old nanny Michelle Miramontes is suing her ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old mechanic Human Sadie, for loans and assault.
Now, there was another piece of money that he borrowed from you. According to you, at 2 different times, you lent him $600
Correct.
each time. Tell me about it.
Well, before his transmission shot out, he had a warrant because he was driving with a suspended license. I get a phone call in the middle of the night, pick him up. His car's been impounded. We took the car out 6 days later, and I let him borrow $600.
Is that what it was to get the car out?
It was $220 for the towing. I gave him $600. He paid 2 tickets that he had. He had to clear his tickets first. He had to buy abstracts. He had to pay the DMV for giving him his license back.
So you gave him $600?
Yes.
Does that have a familiar ring to it?
Yes, it does.
Did you pay her back?
No.
Why not?
Like I said, I was paying my mother off $7,500, man.
And after the $600, then you lent him $3,000, right?
Right.
And then after the $3,000, you lent him another $600.
On September 20th,
No, is that the right? Then you lent him another $600.
Correct.
You're not taking any serious medication, are you?
Not right now.
Huh?
No. Not after what he put me through, I was.
What he put you through? Madam, how old are you?
19.
Where'd you get all this money from?
I worked 2 jobs. I borrowed the $3,000 from my uncle.
Who do you live with?
My mom.
What 2 jobs do you work?
I'm a nanny.
Yes.
And I work in an office doing administrating.
Don't you know a loser when you see it?
Now I can tell.
Well, you're only 19, so I really can't fault you that much because 19, you're still a baby.
Right.
But this should give you some clue. A man should never have to ask you for money.
Especially one that thinks he's wealthy.
Just a second.
And
Should never have to ask you for money. And if he asks you once, and you're 18, 19 years old, how old are you?
23.
If you're 18, 19 years old and 23 has to ask you for money, right? And then he's got to ask you for money again. and then he's got to ask you for money again. Do you understand?
Yes.
And what was the last $600 you gave him?
Well, we were doing a couple things and going out, and we went to car shows, and he wanted to upgrade his rims.
Upgrade his rims?
He had 16s, and he wanted bigger rims. So I had them
bigger rims for this car with the blown transmission.
Well, the transmission was done.
Did she give you rim money?
She paid for them, yes, she did.
I have to ask you this question, sir. What did you buy her?
I never bought her anything.
Your Honor.
What?
I have a lot more. Well, there's more to this than this. There was a baby.
Doesn't this tell you, is this enough? A baby with him?
Yeah.
Do you have a child with him?
No.
Okay, so then I don't have to hear about the baby. You don't have any children?
No, I don't have any.
So why don't you keep that to yourself, madam? Right?
Well, no, I mean, I was going to have my child when I was 5 months. His family, his sister, and his mother are harassing me. I have to go through all this surgery. As of right now, I'm still having surgery. I go through a lot of pain and suffering because of them. This is my medical chart in 2 months. I have 60 pages.
That comes under the category of you being stupid. Do you understand? You have to take certain responsibilities for your own life. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand that.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Even though you're only 19, you have to start taking a certain amount of responsibility for your own bad judgment.
So it was my bad judgment that he decided to hit me, and I had to take
No,
time.
hitting you was something completely different, madam.
I never laid a finger on her, man.
Hitting you is something completely different. If he hit you, and if you have medical bills as a result of his hitting you, I'm not interested in what you decided to do with your pregnancy as a result of the stress that his family put you through. I read that here. That's your problem. But if he assaulted you and you had medical bills as a result of his assaulting you, that I'll see. Do you have medical bills as a result of his assaulting you?
No, I decided not to go.
Fine. I'm awarding you $3,900, and I assume that the next time you pick a boyfriend, you'll pick somebody who isn't going to try to take you financially for every last penny that you have, and use a little better judgment with regard to the character of the people that you hang around with. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next is Judge Judy.
Parties on Cole versus Wyden. Step forward, please.
29-year-old Kitty Cole is suing 41-year-old film producer Sherry Wyden for an evening gown, car rental, and a pair of Versace sunglasses. Sherry is countersuing for lost gemstones and the cost of spa treatments.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 47 on the calendar in the matter of Cole versus Wyden. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Ma'am.
I have in your complaint that your name is Cole Chipman, also known as Kitty Cole. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, you met the defendant in Aspen, Colorado. And shortly after that meeting, things happen as a result of which she owes you money and has retained some property. I have your counterclaim indicating that they owe, this gentleman and this gentleman owe you money. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So why don't you tell me about that, Mr. Cole?
I met Sherry in Aspen. She came to Los Angeles shortly thereafter to see me. She came for 3 days. It ended up being 10 days. She had just moved to Scottsdale, so she asked my friend Danielle and I to go to Scottsdale like about 2 weeks later for an open house that she was having and to help her with her party. She was recently divorced, very upset, you know, didn't know anybody, the whole bit. She offered to take us to Scottsdale, pay for our trip there. Just before we left to go to Scottsdale, she asked if we could please rent a car because her new car had just blown up, apparently, and she was renting a limousine. And the limousine was too expensive, so if we would just rent a car, she'd reimburse us. So that's $350 for that.
You were staying at her house?
Yes, as she requested. We helped her with the party. We did the party. Then after the party,
What do you mean you did the party?
Are
you in the entertainment business?
A little bit.
What do you mean a little bit?
A little bit meaning I'm a fundraiser. I do fundraiser for various AIDS charities as the character Kitty Cole. I ran for mayor 2 years ago of Palm Springs as a fundraiser for AIDS
Is that
charities.
how you earn a living?
No.
Well, what were you doing? I mean, quite frankly, the two of you don't look as if this would be a match made in heaven. I mean, it doesn't look like the kind of friendship that I would envision as resulting in a meeting at Aspen, quite frankly. I mean, what did you have in common with this lady?
We were company for a recent divorcee, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
I used to live in Aspen, and that was her first year there. So
let me ask you this question.
Yes, ma'am.
When you met her, were you outfitted as a man or a woman?
I was outfitted as a man.
And when you came to visit her and stayed in her house,
She asked us to dress up in drag and go out with her because she had remembered Kitty Cole from when I ran for mayor.
but other than dressing up and going out with her, when you were hanging around the house, were you dressed as a man or a woman?
As a man.
Okay. So when you came to court today, you decided to put on the lame.
Well, I had to show you why the other part of the case was relevant. This is a other part of the case.
Well, the other part of the case, you said, had to do, in addition to the $300, there's something about tickets that she promised to get you for an AIDS function.
Right.
And that she reneged on getting you those tickets, and you laid out money for a dress.
Right.
Is that the other part of the
Yes, ma'am.
lawsuit?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm unimpressed with that, but you can tell me about it.
Well, it's just because the Kitty Cole character goes to all the fundraisers and stuff like that as just sort of a, you know, celebrity personality, whatever you want to call it. I help as many AIDS charities as I can. So in order to go to all these events, as I cannot always afford $1,000 a week tickets or $500 a week tickets, I get people to donate money to the charity. In return, I either get a ticket from the charity or they give me a ticket.
Okay. So she promised she'd get you 2 tickets, and then she said, I'm not giving you the tickets.
Correct.
So why does she owe you money for that?
She owes me money because she said, I'll get you the 2 tickets. Now you have to go get something to wear to the event, and I want you to go as Kitty. And so go have something ready to wear to the event. So we...
That doesn't necessarily mean you go out and shop, get something new. Didn't you folks have anything in your closet that you could have worn?
Well, one of the things about Kitty is that I've never worn the same thing twice.
Listen, give me a break, will you please? All right. What else does she owe you?
She owes for the rental car. She has a pair. When we were at her house, we accidentally left a pair of important sunglasses to me.
Important. You said important. First you said they were Versace. She said she took them to the local Versace, and they were $5 glasses that looked like Versace.
It says made in China on the side.
Well, where are the glasses?
Right.
Actually, they're in my purse.
Could I see them, please?
Absolutely.
Just a second. Stop everything. I got to see the glasses.
May I?
Are those the glasses?
Oh, yeah.
Are those the glasses, Bert?
Oh, yeah.
Could I see them,
Please. China, right here, China. Nothing by Versace is made in China. It's all made in Italy.
Well, you don't want them anyway, right?
No, I don't. I wear prescription.
Right. So you can give these back to Mr. Cole. They're yours, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Now, she's got some gemstones that she says you have in your possession.
No, ma'am, I don't.
What about these stones that you say
I
he
gave
had?
both of you numerous.
No, don't talk to them.
Fancy
Talk to
cut.
me.
I gave them gemstones.
You gave them to them.
Well, I lent them to them.
Gave
if he
and lent
wanted
is
to
two
make a
different
ring.
things.
Cole called me and said, Sherry, I don't want these stones. I don't use colored stones. All I use are diamonds. I'm giving these back to you. I was at the Mondrian and he goes, I'm sending these back to you. I
Is there
never got
anything-
them back.
Yeah, where are the stones?
In her passenger side of her bed at home.
Whose passengers?
I mean, my side of the bed in her house where we stayed, I left the stones and these little things called eye beads. She said there's some precious
No,
thing
you
that she
returned
has
the
so
eye
many
beads
of
to the
them.
hotel.
Listen. Are you telling me that if she opens up this drawer in her house, she's going to find those stones?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
there's
And my
nothing in
friend
that drawer.
knows that
No.
I left them there because I didn't want them.
No.
I have no use for little colored rocks.
Okay,
And-
well,
All right. So
rocks,
there we go.
sapphires?
There we go. Hey,
I'm sorry.
You're claiming in your cross-complaint they owe you for spa treatments. You say you took them to some fancy place
I
when they
did.
were in Arizona. You put them up in a hotel room. They promised to pay for their own meals and spa treatments.
Right.
Did you promise to pay for your own spa treatments?
No, ma'am.
Did you have spa treatments?
Yes, ma'am.
I have the bill from the hotel.
Well, tell me what the arrangement was.
That I was going to pay for the suite. We had a beautiful, huge, gorgeous suite. It was for like 2 days so we could relax and just enjoy
Who went
ourselves.
there?
Who?
Yeah.
Me,
3 of you?
Dean, yes.
Interesting group.
And they were supposed to. Well, you know what? When he's a man, he's a totally different person.
I believe that.
I don't know this person.
I don't know this person either.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What kind of treatments did you have?
I had a mud bath and a massage.
And facial.
I think I've been in California too long.
And later today,
He's entitled to say, I'm not your mother. I'm not your fiance. I'm not your father. Borrow from somebody else in order to get me my money so I...
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kitty Cole wants film producer Sherry Wyden to pay her for a dress, car rental, and a pair of sunglasses.
Did you indicate at any time that you were going to reimburse her for the spa treatments? What kind of
Never.
treatments did you have?
I had a mud bath and a massage.
And facial.
Listen, have you ever done this sort of thing before?
No, and no favor
Now,
goes
Miss
unpunished.
Wyden, I would suggest you not do it again.
I think you're
Mr.
right.
Cole, you got your sunglasses back?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a happy life.
Thank you.
Your complaint is dismissed. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Next time, choose friends more carefully. I suggest that if you take people who you never met into your home, right?
Oh, no,
Listen
no.
to me.
Okay.
You take people you never met into your home. To me, you got to be a nut to give them gemstones that mean anything to you. Anything to you. To me, if you meet somebody that you never met before, and she invites you to her home, and you rent a car for $300, how long did you stay in her house?
7 days.
And I had a
6
limousine and a
days.
chauffeur that I took them in the whole time. I didn't need their
Please,
car.
I don't know what it is with you people. I think I've been in California too long. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties I excuse, you may step out.
She's just exploited every private part of my life that there ever was. That, you know, a friend, you would tell a friend, and then she goes and exploits everything about you and laughs about it, and I'm over it.
And now the next case.
Parties on Scott versus Khan. Step forward, please.
Limousine driver Larry Scott says Serena Khan smashed wine glasses and damaged his limousine the night of her bachelorette party.
You, sir, own a limousine,
Yes, ma'am.
and you were hired to take a group of young ladies out for an evening to celebrate a wedding. So this was a bachelorette party.
Correct.
You were getting married.
Yes.
Bunch of girls arranged for you to have a bachelorette party.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, sir, the bride-to-be had a really good time. Got drunk as a skunk. Did a whole bunch of things that were very unladylike that I'm sure she wouldn't like taped. But in addition, she damaged your limousine.
That's correct.
How did she do that?
Upon exiting the car, I put my hand out. She had a glass of champagne in her left hand. And as she was coming out, she more or less drug it across the bar, hitting some other champagne glasses, and broke them.
Well, so what was the damage to the limousine?
Well, she broke the glasses, and in the process of breaking the glass scratched the tinted windows, one tinted window, and it damaged the tinted window, which had to be repaired. And she told me, she said, no problem, that her fiance had a Visa card, and just bill him. A day or two passed, I called.
And she didn't pay?
She developed amnesia.
You have the bills for the repair for the limousine?
Sure.
I'd like to see them, please.
And then there was also downtime for the limousine.
What time?
Downtime. What had happened is, in the process of me taking the car in for repair, I had a run that I couldn't meet, which cost me $1,000.
So they replaced all the tinted windows, sir. I'm
Right.
not considering the time that your limousine was down
Should have taken it early in the morning or whatever it was. That's the damage she caused, $300.
And the glasses.
And how many glasses?
There's 3 glasses involved.
And how much were they a piece?
They're $20 a piece.
$60. Okay, Ms. Khan, let's hear you.
I told him that when he called me Wednesday, he called me 4 days later, and he said, I just got my limousine out of the shop. When are you going to pay me? And I said, what are you talking about? I mean, didn't remember nothing.
Who didn't remember?
I didn't remember anything.
Well, you didn't remember anything because you were...
I was drunk.
Drunk.
I was drunk. I
Why
was
in the world?
fully intoxicated.
And your defense is your defense is A, I don't remember.
No.
Is that right?
No.
Well, what's your defense?
Anybody, there was 3 other girls behind me from what what my witness has told me. As I'm getting out behind her, anybody could have broke the glass. I just happened to be the bride-to-be and the drunkest out of every single girl that was there.
That's what happens when you get drunk, Miss Khan. You don't remember what happened.
That's true.
I mean, because you had several defenses. Your defense is A, I don't remember because I was drunk. B, now they say maybe it wasn't me, it was somebody else. And then your answer, you sort of intimate that that's what happens when you rent the limousine. You go out to one of these parties. You should expect that, and you should have put plastic glasses in his car.
Correct.
You are blaming everybody except yourself.
No, I offered him payments. I told him that I will. It was my bachelorette party. I offered him payments. He said no. I want all the money by next week. I'm sorry. I don't have $360 to give you, guy. Do what you got to do.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Come on, girl. Come on. Let me take you now, then. Chicken.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Limousine driver Larry Scott says Serena Khan smashed wine glasses and damaged his limousine the night of her bachelorette party.
Who arranged for this limousine?
Esther Rios.
Esther Rios, would you say
my maid of honor.
Were you a witness to what happened?
Yes, I was.
Well, you want to tell me what you saw?
Well, my sister got out of the limo when he stopped at a local club. She was the first one to get out. And the last
Your sister isn't here.
No, she's not. Okay. There were 2 other girls prior to Serena getting. Serena got out, so she broke the glasses. All 3 of there was 2 actually. It looked like there was more because there were so many of them broken. And Larry at that time said, "That's it. The party's over." And I said, "Larry," Serena kept saying, "I promise you, Larry, I'll pay him. I promise you, I'll pay for the damages. Rick has a visa. Don't worry, we'll take care of it. And just please finish the run."
So you actually saw her get out of the car and damage
I did.
the car.
She was so drunk.
Right up here. Your name?
My name's Jennifer Kirtland. We started out at the bachelorette party at my apartment. Then we met the limo driver here. Esther insisted.
Slowly.
Esther insisted that we take this limo. We didn't have enough girls to fill this limo. There was no.
You were in the limo. You got into it. Nobody dragged you in there.
Okay.
Good.
Anyway, upon exiting the limo, Serena did not have a glass in her hand because I had made sure that all the glasses were back in their holders before we got out. So I know that is not true. And I'm not saying that Serena didn't do it, but usually limo companies have insurance for this kind of thing or whatever. And she didn't sign any contracts saying that, she was going to be responsible for anything.
Is that are you her lawyer?
No, I'm not.
So your defense on behalf of your friend is that they should have carried insurance, drunk insurance.
No, I'm not saying that.
Drunk insurance.
I'm not saying that.
No, people are supposed to act responsibly, and if you get drunk...
You should know, Jen.
Stop! Hey, now you can sit down.
Thank you.
When people get drunk, they have to understand that if they do something that's foolish or ridiculous and it damages somebody else's property, they got to pay for it. Not an insurance company, because if he had insurance and he put it through his insurance, ultimately, in the trickle-down effect, Bird would have to pay for it. Right, Bird?
Absolutely.
In your insurance. And you don't like that because Bird doesn't even drink.
I understand that.
Do you understand? So you can't make excuses. So far from this end of the table, I've heard the excuse. How many excuses? 4? 4 that I counted?
That's 4.
4 that I counted? 4 that I counted.
Why don't you Your Honor, I take responsibility for being drunk off my behind, okay? I really do, okay? But I have my maid of honor. Don't worry about it. Have a good time. I'm going to take care of you. We're going to go out. You're going to have a blast. Here's your initiation sheet. I'm right by your side. This is the one that was right by my side, okay? I offered this man payments, okay? I offered him $150 the first week of May and $150 the second week of May. He told me, no, I want it all by next week.
Miss Khan,
You think that the person, just listen to me. See, he had his car fixed, and they say to him, you don't get your car back until the bill is paid. You think that the guy would appreciate it if he said, well, I'm going to give you half of it now and half of it in June?
No, I understand that.
Just, you know, since when did he become a partner in your misfortune? He is not a partner in your misfortune.
But how do I know that
So
the chip wasn't there before the glasses broke?
Hold on a second. Listen to what you're saying. First you tell me that you realized it was your responsibility, it was your bachelorette party, and you called him and told him that you would pay him for the damage to his car, but you could only make it in payments.
Right.
Because you didn't have it all at one time.
Right.
Right? So far, you're almost reasonable. He's entitled to say, I don't want to accept payments because I have to pay for my car all at one time for me to get back my car. Now, I'm not your mother. I'm not your fiance. I'm not your father. I have no relationship with you at all. Borrow from somebody else in order to get me my money so I can get my car out of hock.
No.
Just a second. What do you mean no?
No.
What do you mean no?
No, because you know why? He calls up Esther and he tells Esther, tell her I'll take the payments now because I really don't want to take her to court. You know, I'm like...
Just a second. If he called your husband and your husband said, because now you're married, okay, I'll pay him.
Right.
So why didn't you just pay him?
No, we agreed to pay him $150 of payment, okay? He told his wife that, okay?
You made a $150 payment?
No, we didn't. But we agreed. That's what my husband said, that he agreed to do that. So...
What does your husband do for a living?
He's a glazer.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a receptionist.
You have children?
I have 4.
You have 4 children? With this husband?
No.
Did they live with you, your children?
Yes, they do.
Should spend your money someplace else other than having a bachelorette party and be a little more mature. A mother of 4 children who's 26 years old has already made enough mistakes in her life. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $360. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Parties on. Plunkett versus Erickson. Step down, please.
Wedding coordinator Mary Elizabeth Plunkett claims writer Mary Erickson Downs didn't pay for her flowers. Mary Downs says she didn't get the flowers she ordered, ruining her wedding day.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Sir. Thank you. Yes, case number 27 on the calendar in the matter of Plunkett versus Erickson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Miss Erickson, you retained the plaintiff to prepare the flowers and arrange the flowers for your wedding.
Right.
So when she came to you, Miss Plunkett, did you discuss the flowers and did you discuss how much it would be?
Yes.
Did you enter into a contract?
We verbally discussed things, and she gave me a deposit.
Now, the original agreement that you had with the defendant was for how much?
Between $1,000 to $1,500.
Well, whenever you deal with a vendor and you say between $1,000 and $1,500, it's been my experience that it's never $1,000, it's always $1,500. So, the maximum that she was prepared to spend was $1,500, correct?
Correct.
When did you first tell her you were going over budget?
The month before the wedding.
Tell me about the conversation.
I proposed at that time that we have 4-foot magnolia topiaries in the
I'm not
dining
interested in
room.
the 4-foot magnolia. You told her it was going to be how much more money?
She spent $300 on silk ribbon.
Just a second. Did you tell her how much more it was going to cost her?
I told her that we were going over budget.
But you didn't tell her how much?
I presented her with what I had spent and asked her for an additional amount of monies, which she gave me.
Okay, and the maximum budget that she gave you was $1,500. And when you say you went over budget, you originally agreed to between $1,000 and $1,500.
With a stipulation that I have $400 to $500 flexibility.
You have
creative problem.
Just a second. With a stipulation that you had $400 or $500
creative budget margins.
That was never told to me until
well, between $1,000 and $1,500 is $500 flexibility.
That's half the budget.
So we come to the wedding, and how much have you paid so far?
I paid her up to that point $1,300 that she had to work with.
So you expected to pay her no more than how much?
$200. Plus, I wouldn't mind spending a couple hundred more because I had asked for an apple tree and that kind of thing.
So I expected maybe I'd be paying $400 more.
So you expected a bill for, let's say, $1,800 to $2,000.
Correct. $1,800 was kind of the maximum I expected.
So say you expected to pay $1,800 because you asked for an apple tree, an absolute necessity at any wedding. Are you the husband? Get to the wedding, she delivers the flowers, and what happened?
An hour and a half before my wedding, she comes into my room while I'm getting my makeup on and my hair done and gives me the bouquet, which was not at all what I ordered. I wanted something inexpensive when we had discussed greens and just a few flowers, and it was like this huge, beautiful bouquet of 24 roses, and I was just shocked. And then she said, I need to talk to you privately. I've gone way over budget, and I'm really upset about this, and I don't know how to deal with it.
How much did you actually go over budget? What kind of bill did you present to her on the day of her wedding?
On the day of her wedding, I gave her a bill for a balance due of $1,422. And with that, I told her that I had given her a $500 gratuity, a generosity of my time.
An hour and a half before my wedding, she gives me a bill that totals $2,722, which the maximum I had told her that week was...
So, $2,722, listen to me, you had already given her $1,300, and you expected a bill for somewhere around $1,800.
At the most.
So this was about almost $1,000 over that.
Yeah, $1,222.
Oh, okay.
I was in shock. And plus, I was already nervous just being a bride.
I can work with anyone's budget. I notified her of that fact. That wasn't the problem. It was that last week when we had all these phone conversations back and forth, 3 or 4 a day, of additional amendments that she wanted, specific things that she had added that I was willing to comply with and
like
create.
What? Like what additional things?
A long list.
It wasn't that long. It was a candle. It was something for our wedding candle, an apple tree.
When you called her, did you ask her how much those things would be?
Well, she told me approximately how much things were going to cost. But the thing is, I got to the wedding day, and well, for one thing, the first thing I was shocked by was my bouquet way over budget, $175.
How'd you know it was $175?
Because she gave me this receipt.
There were also many other things that we'd never asked for.
Step right here.
There were many items we never asked for. There was a bouquet at the floor at the wine and fruit and cheese table outside. There was a bouquet at the autograph book, the signature book. There were, there's a number of things marked on here that we never requested or expected to pay for.
I was shocked.
How do you know that they were never requested?
Well, I mean, my wife and I were having a conversation on this, and I have to tell you that on the day of our wedding, I had no knowledge that this was happening, that she'd been presented with this outrageous bill an hour and a half before the wedding. But at the reception afterwards, she kept coming up to me and saying, I'm so upset that the florist wants a check right now, and it's $1,700. And I was thinking, okay, it's $1,700 total. What I had no idea is that the next morning when I looked in our hotel room and I looked at this bill for $2,700, and I realized it's nearly double what we had agreed to pay for, I was outraged.
Honeymoon money, basically.
I mean, I feel like she was basically coerced into writing this check.
But you did write her a check, and then you stopped payment on it. Why don't you tell me about that?
Well, it was because I was a wreck being a bride that day. First of all, when I saw her at my ceremony, I just wanted to retch after she had presented me with this bill. So the whole ceremony, every time I saw her in her little purple outfit, I was wrecked. Then, before the first course was even served, she started wanting the check. And so throughout the reception, she kept coming up at every opportunity that I was free and asking me for the check. And I asked her at one point, can I mail this to you?
That's not true.
Yes, you did. Every time I had a free moment or wasn't dancing or talking to somebody, she was up coming to ask me. And I was telling my friends, what do I do about this florist? And several people said, I'll take care of her for you. And every time I saw her, I just didn't know what to do. I was so wrecked. Then the weird thing was, she came up to me during the reception and said, a friend of yours said she would like to take home a centerpiece. Now, I don't have a problem if you want to take home 3 or 4, but I'm intending to take the rest of those home. And I just thought I was buying these flowers.
Did you take any of the flowers home?
I transported all of the flowers home after a conversation with Mary saying she hadn't prepared any means for which to take care of them.
Just a second. I never heard of a florist taking home flowers.
She had ordered 18 arrangements. Up to the last minute, there was 18 arrangements made. I had to be prepared to do 18 tables. At that point, she called me the night before. I checked with the hotel. There were 2 changes at that time which she okayed me to do, and that one, number 1 was...
I'm not interested in that. Would you kindly tell me what you were doing taking home her flowers?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
No. I don't believe you. I absolutely don't believe you. I can't tell you, unfortunately, how many weddings I've done, but never have I experienced the florist taking home the flowers.
And later today...
How much is a new motorcycle?
The older one I bought for $4,000, and the new one I have I bought for $9,000.
You'd have to pay me to get on a motorcycle.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Wedding coordinator Mary Plunkett wants Mary Downs to pay for her wedding flowers. Mary Downs says she got the order wrong.
Miss Plunkett, to be honest with you, it sounds to me as if, because I read your complaint as well, that you made a little bit of a pest at yourself at their wedding.
I mean, this isn't true. I went to her twice during the reception.
Twice is too much.
Well,
Twice is too much.
I told her I objected to giving her the flowers without payment.
Well, right now she'd been presented with a bill, and she didn't have any idea that she was going to get this kind of bill from you. She had no idea.
We had
I
discussed,
had no idea.
Each time we talked to her that week, I said, we are way over budget.
No, you didn't.
She knew
this. Miss Plunkett, being way over budget could be $100, could be $200, could be $300. You're a business person. And a business person is supposed to say, we are now over budget by $250. I need your approval for that.
I did that, Your Honor, and she sent me $500 additional dollars.
Yes.
And then $500 more.
So how much did she pay you all together?
$1,800.
Right. And then right before the wedding, you called her and say, now we are way, way over budget. First we were way over budget, then we're way, way over budget. Did you tell her how much?
I told her, because the things that she added last minute were so, like 2 days ahead of time, Your Honor.
No way. You know what she did? The
No,
night before...
and I'm outraged, quite frankly, Miss Plunkett, that you took these flowers home.
I asked Mary the night before if I was to deal with this.
No,
and she said, please
the
go
night
ahead.
before, I didn't even talk to you the night before, Elizabeth.
You called me and gave me your room number.
Just a second. Hey, Miss Plunkett, do you expect me to believe that the night before you spoke to this lady and said to her, I am going to take the flowers home and you can have them whenever you want them?
Absolutely.
You said that the night before?
I told her.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I absolutely don't believe you. I mean, I can't tell you, unfortunately, how many weddings I've done, but never have I experienced the florist taking home the flowers.
No, I asked her if she wanted me to handle with the transportation of them. She informed me that she was going
you
away.
got paid $1,800. And as far as I'm concerned, that's all you're going to get. Now, you have a counterclaim, and your counterclaim is really in the form of aggravation. If you have aggravation, then part of it is your fault. Before you enter into a contract with somebody to perform a service, you get it in writing exactly what it is. And when you have these conversations over the phone, I want a tree, I want something for my candle, and without saying exactly how much will that be, you run this risk of having a problem afterwards, and unfortunately you run the risk of having additional aggravation on a very important day. That doesn't mean you're compensated for it. That means you're supposed to get smarter.
But am I supposed to expect somebody coming in an hour before my wedding with a $1,200 over? I mean, just that insensitivity?
Didn't you understand what I just said? Am I speaking English? When you enter into a contract for services, you're supposed to get it in writing.
Right.
All right?
Your Honor,
you were paid $1,800. That's all you're going to get.
Mr. Downs wrote me a note, and he says, you are going to eat it.
Miss Plunkett, you are a poor businesswoman.
I know.
And in addition to being a poor businesswoman, I do not buy your story about helping her out by taking the flowers home and being able...
Please ask Michael what he was there to help her. He helped me install them.
Just a second. I don't care whether he helped you install them. I have never...
I don't need them. I had no use for them.
What word don't you understand, madam?
You don't believe me.
I certainly don't. That's all. This case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, you knew my budget was $1,500, and you were supposed to inform me any time going on.
I did. And your friends say when you go to the store for light bulbs, you come out with a $300 bill. You spend a lot.
That's not true. It's absolutely not
true. Well, Patrick doesn't know that
you
about
did the wedding you wanted.
I'm only married to her.
And now the next case.
Parties on Burroughs versus Trogdon. Step forward, please.
25-year-old truck driver Terry Burroughs says his brother, 20-year-old salesman Brian Trogdon, owes him for an unpaid phone bill and a ruined motorcycle.
This is your brother.
Yes.
You did two things. The first one was really stupid. You gave him a telephone to use, a cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
Not smart. You said he ran up a bill of over $600.
Yes.
Bill was in your name,
Yes.
but he had the phone.
Yes.
And then you said he ruined your motorcycle that you let him use.
Yes.
Let's start with the motorcycle. Why was he using your motorcycle?
Because he had came back from Illinois. His motorcycle that he had in Illinois had been wrecked, and the insurance paid to pay off the loan. He was having troubles out there. I loaned him $200 to come back to San Diego to try and start his life over again. And I had purchased a new motorcycle, and I still had my second motorcycle. I let him use the second motorcycle, and you understand, I go, Brian, it needs some repairs on it first, and then once you get it, it's being used as collateral on the loan. I need to keep the full coverage on the insurance, and anything breaks, you fix it. And he goes, okay. And he did fix a couple things, got a new tire for it, got a new ignition for it, and then apparently he went up to L.A. when he was using the phone, and going up there, him and his friend were talking. I heard his friend talking, saying that he was racing up there doing like 90 miles an hour the whole time up there. And it's an older bike, and apparently on his way back, the engine seized. And I let him use the motorcycle just because he had nothing to use. His credit
So how much
was
did it
horrible.
cost you to have the motorcycle fixed?
The motorcycle isn't fixed yet. I do not have the money to repair it.
You have an estimate?
Yes, I do. It's a total of $1,500.93. $1,593.06.
How much is a new motorcycle?
It depends. The older one I bought for $4,000, and the new one I have I bought for $9,000.
You'd have to pay me to get on a motorcycle. What are you laughing about?
No, absolutely.
Just the very thought of it makes you chuckle.
Me too.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Just a second. What motorcycle were you using to pick up your
I had gotten a new one.
You bought a new one?
No, my ex-girlfriend had got it for me.
Why would she get you a motorcycle?
She knew I needed transportation at the time.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Terry Burroughs claims his brother, Brian Trogdon, owes him for a phone bill and a ruined motorcycle.
Okay. So now I have the estimated repairs on. You don't, sir, look at me. You don't deny that the engine on the motorcycle seized when you were driving it. Is that correct?
No, it seized while I was riding on it, but
Okay.
and then the first thing that I checked when it seized was I checked the oil, because that's the first thing, and there was plenty of oil in it, so I had it taken to a motorcycle shop. And when the guy was loading it up, I asked him, I said, what can cause it? He said anything. He
Anything?
Said,
It's probably true.
And yeah, I admit, when I was going up to L.A., me and my friend Micah would get a burst of speed, take off for a little bit, but it's not like I did 90 miles an hour the whole way there.
Doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
You had borrowed his motorcycle with the understanding you would take care of it while you were using it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
It seized when you were using it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take care of it. Doesn't that sound right to you?
Yeah.
Your Honor?
I mean, just a second, you're winning. Why don't you be quiet? All right. Well, let's get to the phone bill. You have some sort of a defense to this phone bill. You used this phone. You ran up a bill of over $600, right? You don't deny that those were your calls. And your whole defense is that he told you that you could pay $35 a month. Is that your defense? Am I reading that right?
No. He'd called and worked out a thing with my fiance, that we would pay, and then we gave him $35 the first time.
Just a second. Why didn't you pay the bill as it came due each month?
Well, because I had lost my job, because I had gotten in some trouble, so I lost my job. And
Just
that
a
was my
minute.
fault.
So if you lost your job, how many months did you have the phone when you lost your job?
I had it maybe a month.
Are you telling me, sir, that you used a cell phone for $600 worth in 1 month? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, it was long.
No wonder you
distance
lost your
program.
job. No wonder you lost your job.
I took responsibility, and I told him I'd pay him. Well, we gave him $35.
On almost a $700 bill, you gave him $35?
Because he had told me that the phone had been cut off, and his minimum payment was $50 a month. Well, I couldn't afford to give him all $50 at once, so we gave him $35 to start with, and then About a week later, like it was just after I wrecked my bike and stuff like that, well, he called my house and he asked to borrow my motorcycle helmet. And I said, well, you know, I got to pick up Valerie later tonight and I can't let you use it. Dad's here. Dad's helmet's here. Why don't you use his? Well, he's like, well, why don't you use
Just a second.
that?
What motorcycle were you using to pick up people?
I had gotten a new one.
You bought a new one?
No, I didn't get it. My ex-girlfriend had got it for me.
Your ex-girlfriend, not this lady?
No.
Your ex-girl, would she get you a motorcycle?
She knew I needed transportation at the time.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I paid her a sum of money every month.
And you made that up until the time you separated.
She put his name on her credit card because they were in love.
You also have to understand that you have certain responsibility for being a fool.
Correct.
Until you got a ring on your finger, don't open up joint accounts with anybody.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Sheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Hagopian versus Neesmith. Step forward, please.
23-year-old student Allison Hagopian says her former boyfriend, 22-year-old salesman Eric Neesmith, used their credit card without paying his share. Eric says he doesn't owe Allison any money. She took his truck.
Order. All rise. Let's have quiet in here, please. Your Honor, this is case number 134 on the calendar in the matter of Hagopian versus Neesmith. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, ma'am, have a seat.
Ms. Hagopian, according to these papers, you were in a long-term relationship with the defendant. You claimed during that time that he spent a lot of your money.
A lot. While we were dating, we decided to open up a joint credit card with the intention of Eric consolidating bills onto this lower rate interest credit card. In addition, he had free right to use the credit card, and every month when the bill came, he was to pay the bill. That agreement worked out fine. I never once used the credit card, and that worked out fine for about 2 years until we broke up and he stopped paying.
Now, one of the things you say in your complaint, when you start, you say, I have very little evidence, but I have right on my side. Evidence is what a court's all about.
Right.
So when you say you have very little evidence, let me see what very little evidence you have.
Okay, well, the reason I don't have evidence is because he charged everything, and he's the type of guy who crumples up the receipts and throws them away. So I obviously don't have very many receipts. But what I do have is our very first statement saying that a $1,500 transfer was taken place. I have one receipt, and towards the middle, there's more balance transfers.
More balance transfers?
He was still using his credit cards and our joint card. So he again transferred those small credit cards onto this. And so I have his old statement stating how much, you know, say it was like $400 and $400 shows up that it was transferred. So I have that right there.
But do you have how much he paid?
I don't understand.
According to you, he made payments every month.
Correct. It shows on the statements how much he paid every month.
Well, do you have a total?
No, I don't.
Well, then how am I supposed to figure that out?
Well, okay, the balance as of today is $4,000. It's $3,999.98.
I paid her a sum of money every month to pay for whatever was in that house. She wanted so much money a month from me, 5, 6, whatever it was she asked for. I just gave it to her in cash. Every paycheck, just gave it to her in cash. That's why I have...
Just a sec. Sir, you did, for the 2 years that you were together, make payments by check on this credit card, did you not?
Very few checks. I don't think she...
Just not very few. Did you, while you were together, it's clear that you transferred some of your old credit cards to this new credit card, correct? Which had a lower interest rate.
Correct.
It's also clear that you did, in fact, make payments on that credit card by check.
Yes, I did.
Good. And you made that up until the time you separated.
No, I made payments after that also.
How much after that?
I would drop $300, $400, $500 cash in an envelope, run it by her house, and put it in her mailbox.
You live in a private house?
Yes.
And you have an outdoor mailbox?
No. It's deposited directly into our house.
So what you're telling me you did, sir, is for several months after you separated in order to deal with your outstanding bill.
Yes.
You, in addition to the other monies that you paid by check, you dropped cash off in her house.
Yes, I did.
And you say?
Never.
And let me tell you why, sir. I don't believe that. You want to know why? Because it's common sense. Let me tell you why it's common sense. Here you are together, building a future, planning a life together, and you write out checks to the credit card company so that you have a receipt for it. Now, this is when you are together and in love, sharing a home together. So what you want me to believe, sir, is after you separated, and I assume not a happy separation based upon these papers.
Oh, no.
Right? After you separated, you trusted her enough to deposit cash in an envelope in her house. That's what you want me to believe?
Yes.
Good. That's what he wants me to believe.
You don't know. She's got a witness that will attest that I gave him $500 cash.
Is that you?
It's me.
Step up. Your name?
Nick.
What?
Nick.
Nick.
Yep.
You're Nick on the street. Here you have a last name.
I'm her sister.
What?
I'm her brother.
Your last name?
Hagopian.
Oh, okay. Mr. Hagopian. He says that you're a witness to the fact that he gave her $500 in cash.
He gave me $500 and I gave it to her. That was on one occasion. That was 2 weeks late.
For what? For credit card or
for a truck?
We're not in the truck yet. I haven't even touched the truck yet. We're talking about credit card. We're going to get to the truck in a minute. That was for the truck.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Nick. Let me see the last statement that you have from your credit card. Thank you. And these are all his charges?
Correct.
Everything here?
Everything.
Okay. You have a bicycle?
Yes, I do.
It's expensive.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And I see that you made a payment of $825 on this account.
I made a few large payments.
Right, all by check. But then you stopped.
Yes.
And there was still an outstanding balance when you stopped,
Yes,
sir.
there was.
So why don't you pay it?
Because she owes me money.
Now we're going to get to the truck. You purchased a truck. The loan was in her name. Truck was in her name.
That's correct.
But you had it.
I had the truck.
And when you left, you took the truck.
Yes, I did.
And while you were together, you made the payments on the truck.
That is correct.
And then, according to you, about a month or two after you separated, he was late in payments.
Correct.
So the first thing that happened was Nick over here went and repossessed the truck.
Correct.
Then what happened?
He called me up while on vacation. I said, give it back, you know, especially if he gives you money. He gave it back when I got back from vacation.
Gave it back and he gave him $500.
Correct.
Is that when he gave him the $500?
Yes,
There
that's
you go.
it.
I knew this would all come together like a neat puzzle.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Why did you just get your own loan?
I cannot get a loan.
Well, what had you done in your past, sir, which made it so difficult for you to get credit?
And later today,
So you want her to repossess the
I
car?
said, if she wants the car, she can have it. It's not worth what I owe on
Isn't he
it.
a prince?
Judge Judy. Allison Hagopian broke up with Eric Neesmith after 5 years. Allison wants Eric to pay his share of credit card bills. Eric wants Allison to give him back the truck.
Then what happened?
When I came back from vacation, I said, listen, I don't want to have to be your personal banker. I don't want to be responsible for the truck, you know. What happens
Get
if you're
your
in
own
an
loan.
accident? Exactly.
Did she tell you to get your second? Did she tell you to get your own loan?
She sure did. That's when I put the for sale sign in my truck.
Why did you just get your own loan?
I could not get a loan.
Why?
I don't think my credit was good enough.
Well, what had you done in your past, sir, which made it so difficult for you to get credit? Why don't you tell me about that?
Sure, I had a repossession when I was 18 years old.
So this wasn't the first time you bought something and couldn't pay for it?
Well, I returned it because because I couldn't afford it.
You didn't return it. If somebody repossesses it, that means they repossessed. They came and they got it from your house.
Yeah, it's a voluntary repossession. I turned it into the car lot.
Mm-hmm. How much did they give you back for the car that you purchased when you were 18 that you couldn't pay for? How much did they give you back?
Probably around $4,000.
They gave you back?
Well, they didn't give it back to me. They sold it at an auction for around $4,000. I paid them the difference in cash.
You paid them the difference. So what I said, listen to me, Mr. Neesmith, I speak English. When I said to you, how much did they give you back for the year's worth of payments that you made? The answer is goose egg, right?
That's correct.
Now, your answer here is she owes you a lot of money for the truck because she sold the truck and you want to be reimbursed for all the payments that you made for the year that you had the truck. That's your defense.
I saw it as the loan was over. She took the truck. I paid for it for a year, $3,600 worth.
That's what you paid. It's almost like a rental. You paid $3,600 to rent a car for a year, or for more than a year. How long did you have it?
I think he had it for 13 months.
13 months. Less than $300 a month. It's a bargain. You rented it. Anyway, so your counterclaim is dismissed. With regard to your complaint, I actually believe that despite the fact that you don't have all the evidence that I would like, he did in fact incur bills on your credit card, and I don't believe that he paid them. Even he doesn't suggest that he paid them all. He suggests that he gave you a couple of payments towards them. So I'm awarding you $4,000 on your claim. Be smart. Until you got a ring on your finger and a certificate on your wall, don't open up joint accounts with anybody.
Correct.
Smart?
Smart.
Good. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Back door to your right, please.
She owed me money for the truck. I upgraded the truck. She sold it. She didn't even give me anything. I don't think it was very fair.
He owed me the money. I got the money. That's all there is to it.
And now the next case.
Parties on Jones versus Taylor. Step forward, please.
24-year-old Amanda Jones says her ex-fiancé, 25-year-old Eric Taylor, stopped making payments on a car he bought from her. Eric is countersuing Amanda for an engagement ring.
All right, let me review the chronology of this case. You two were dating back in 1994. Is that right? And you had an old car that you were replacing.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
And you purchased that car
Right.
from her for $3,500. And within a few days of purchasing this car, you broke up.
Yes.
Right. And you continued to pay her for the car.
Right.
Until sometime in 1996.
Right.
When you gave the car to
My mother.
who agreed to make the payments.
Correct.
And she did until August of 1997.
Correct.
When she gave the car back to you.
Right.
And at that point, there was still $1,200 owing on the car.
Correct.
Then in September, you had a conversation with him.
Correct.
Tell me about that conversation.
He said that he was going to begin taking the payments over again. I told him that there was $1,200 left over. He said that he had just found a job or just got laid off or something. He was having some problems with work and some family problems. I told him if he could pay it off by close to the end of the year, I'd drop it to $700. He said, "That's great," thanked me.
So
and
you knocked off $500.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice of you.
I thought so.
That was nice of her. Right?
Right.
So why didn't you pay her?
The car's, it's not worth that anymore. I've tried to sell the car just to get, because I had the title to the car. The title was signed over to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried to sell it to get the money for it, and I can't even get the money for it.
What does that have to do with her? Mr. Taylor, what does that have to do with her? You bought a car in 1994. You agreed to a purchase price of $3,500.
Right. She called me, and she said, when she was telling me about the money and stuff, and I don't really even want the car. She can have the car back.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Why should you sue for $750 if you had pooled your money? At least half of that was her money.
Because there's some morals here. I mean, when you get
Let me tell you
engaged.
what morals are. Morals are when you come into court and you tell the truth.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. 24-year-old Amanda Jones says her ex-fiancé, 25-year-old Eric Taylor, stopped making payments on a car he bought from her. Eric is countersuing Amanda for an engagement ring.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
You buy a car in 1994 from General Motors.
Right.
And you make a payment plan with them.
Right.
And in 1998,
Right.
you still have time to go because you took out a 6-year loan.
Okay.
Towards the end of the loan,
Right.
you still have $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 left on the loan. So you go into General Motors and you say to them, listen, I don't want this car anymore. If I had to continue to pay off everything else that I own on this car, that's more than the car is worth now.
Right.
Right?
Right.
What do you think General Motors would say to you?
What?
They would send you for a psychiatric examination.
Probably.
They would send you. I mean, are you following what you're saying?
Yes.
You bought the car, you agreed on a price, you agreed on a payment plan. Now, at the end of the day, the car isn't worth what you thought. There are a couple 100,000 miles on the car now, right?
Right.
When did she become a partner in your misfortune?
Well, I guess the way I was looking at it was if you go out and you finance a car and you don't make the payments on it, they come and they repossess it.
So you want her to repossess the car?
I said if she wants the car, she can have it. It's not worth what I owe on
Isn't he
it.
a prince? Break.
But there is a second part to this.
Were you served with this counterclaim?
Yes, recently, yeah.
And your counterclaim says you bought her an engagement ring.
Correct.
When?
Actually, about 2 weeks before me and her split up.
That's actually not true, Your Honor. It was in July of '94, and we split up in January of '95. 7 months.
Okay.
Okay. So what happened when you split up, sir?
We split up, and I was going to take the car, and I had asked for the ring. And then I went into her work 2 weeks later, and I noticed that she had several dozen roses sitting on her desk. And I asked her again. I said, obviously she had met somebody. Can I please have the ring? She then told me no, and she kind of smirked and said, no, I'm going to use the ring because I'm going to buy his ring with it.
Did he ask for the ring back in 1994?
Yes, he did.
So why didn't you give it back to him?
Because he did not purchase the ring, pay for the ring. He borrowed the money from my sister.
Which I paid back.
When I found out that he borrowed the money from my sister, I had just received an insurance settlement. I felt bad having my sister owed this money, so I paid my sister the check. I wrote the check for my sister and gave her the money for the ring. So the ring was mine. I paid for it. He made 2 payments on it.
To your sister?
Yes.
Did you borrow the money from her sister?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And how much was this ring?
$775.
How many payments did you make to her sister?
2.
In what amount?
I believe they were $100 amounts.
$80 amounts.
You believe they were $100
$100
amounts? So let's say I believe you that you paid $200 towards the $750 ring.
Right.
You say you're countersuing her for $750.
The payments that I made to her, okay, they were payments that I had made. Me and Amanda, our money was our money, and she decided that she wanted to pay us back.
What do you mean our money? Her money was your money, and your money was your money?
We were living together at the time. We had a bank account. You know, we were...
You just told me you gave $200 to her sister.
Right.
She says she paid the rest to her sister.
Amanda didn't know I got the ring for her, the money from her sister, okay?
Then she found out and she felt badly, so she says she paid her sister. You say she paid it out of a joint bank account. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that our money was our money. Yes, it was paid that way, yes.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Even if I believe you, Mr. Taylor.
Okay.
Why should you sue for $750 if you had pooled your money? At least half of that was her money.
Because there's some morals here. I mean, when you get
Let me
engaged...
tell you what morals are. Morals are when you come into court and you tell the truth. First of all, you don't file a counterclaim for $750 when you didn't pay $750. If I believed you, it would have been half of $750.
I see.
Well, you didn't sue for half of $750. Second of all, this happened 4 years ago.
Right.
So I'm dismissing your counterclaim. It's nonsense. And you owe her this money for the car.
Okay.
And she's being a very nice person by saying to you, you owed me $1,200, I'll reduce it to $700. She's not a repo man. That's what you want her to be, right? You come repossess the car, sell it for what you can.
Right.
Oh, you have a wonderful character. Balance owing on the car is now $650?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $650. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will
All parties on Goldgart versus Robinson. Step forward.
46-year-old secretary Pam Goldgart is suing her short-term boyfriend, 41-year-old Steve Robinson, for keeping her stuff after she moved out. Steve is countersuing Pam for rent and putting his cat to sleep.
Order. All rise. Thank you. Your Honor, this is case number 141 on the calendar in the matter of Goldgart versus Robinson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats.
Miss Goldgart, according to your complaint, you dated the defendant on Monday, April 13th.
That's the first time I saw him.
You moved in with him on April 26th.
Yes.
On May 17th, he turned you out.
Yes.
Keeping your stuff.
Yes.
Could you tell me what prompts somebody to move in with a total stranger after less than 2 weeks?
Judge, I've been divorced for almost 12 years, and this man told me everything I had ever wanted to hear from any man in my life.
That should have been your first clue.
Maybe a red flag. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're right.
Okay. You moved in April 26th. Things went from bad to worse, and on May 17th, he told you to leave.
Yes, he did.
And you kept your stuff.
Yes, I did.
Why?
She owes me money.
For what?
Rent, also phone bills, utilities.
Just a second. She lived in your house for 3 weeks. I assume that things were not happy between you, which is why you told her to leave.
Right.
You live there with your children?
No,
You live there alone?
not now.
But you were living there alone when she moved in with you.
No.
Who was living there?
Genora.
Who are you?
I'm his girlfriend.
You mean she was... Oh. Shay, I can't do this case if there's noise. Was she living there when you lived there?
No, it's the day that he kicked her out, he asked me to move in. The day I The moved night in. I left, he asked her to come back.
Oh, Mr. Robinson. Just a second. What's your name?
Genora.
Genora. Step up here, Genora. This is getting really fascinating. How long were you with him before he told you to leave?
He didn't tell me to leave.
You left.
I moved.
You moved.
Because of this.
Because he told her to move in.
No, I moved and then he said move in. He didn't even know I was leaving.
Why were you leaving?
Because I knew he was with her.
How long had you been with him before she moved in?
About a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, when you lived there, were you working?
Yes, I was.
And you were paying bills?
Yes, we split everything half and half.
So you had an oral agreement with him that you would split the bills down the middle?
Yes.
And, sir, you did not have that arrangement with the plaintiff?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't, sir. Because even according to your answer, you say that you didn't have that agreement with her. According to your answer, you say, because it didn't work out and she moved out, I said that now she owes me for rent. So you didn't have that agreement with her when she moved in?
We had talked about sharing utilities, rent, phone bills.
When did you talk about it?
Before she moved in.
Is that right?
No.
No, you didn't, Mr. Robinson.
I have long-distance phone calls from Pittsburgh to Pennsylvania with her kids. And
I have no problem with paying the bill, Your Honor.
The phone bill?
Correct.
That's fine. How much
Prior
is the
to
phone
that,
bill?
we had not made
How much is the phone bill?
Well, also, Your Honor, we haven't got another bill yet from when before she moved out. I haven't even
Mr.
received that.
Robinson, let me tell you something. You seem to need to have a woman around you all the time, sir.
This part is...
Somebody to take care of you, somebody to take care of your house and everything else. I don't understand, but you seem to be able to get it. Give me the long-distance phone bill.
$12.50.
$12.50?
Yes.
$12.50. Perfect. Now, you have her stuff.
I have an itemized list also.
He's
Your
going to
Honor.
give you back all your stuff. Let me see. You moved in with a television?
Yes, I did.
You have a television?
The small one in the bedroom.
Whatever it is. You have her television that she
Yes,
moved
ma'am.
in with. And you have her entertainment wall unit.
Yes.
And you have her forehead VCR.
Yes.
And you have her queen-size comforters.
Yes.
Comforter.
And bed.
And
Okay.
Judge, I
and-
have no problem giving this back to her.
Good. Perfect. Okay, now, so all of her things within 72 hours, you arrange for the pickup. Okay. Now let's get to his counterclaim. I've already decided that he's not entitled to any rent, and I've already decided he's not entitled to any utilities but the $12 long-distance phone bill that you agreed to pay. The only part of his counterclaim that I am going to consider, and I want to hear about, is the fact that you took his cat and had his cat put to sleep. So that I want to hear about.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The very day that you found out that the cat was gone, you would have done everything in your power to locate it. It was not 5 days, not 4 days, not 3 days, not 2 days. That very day, you would have been in your car scouring every animal shelter in the city to try to find it.
Pam Goldgard and Steve Robison lived together for a brief time. Now, Pam is suing Steve for keeping her belongings, and Steve is suing Pam for rent and putting his cat to sleep.
Now let's get to his counterclaim.
Okay, that's one of the reasons I brought my daughter. When I moved in, I knew that he had the cat, that he was attached to the cat, the children were attached to the cat. I didn't tell him that I was allergic to cats. I thought, Pam, maybe it's a mind over matter type of thing. You can deal with it. I thought I was in love with the man. I was willing to deal with anything that came along with him. After a few days, the allergies just took over. He came in the living room one day. The allergies had taken over my eyes. They were tearing. He asked me what I was crying about. I said, I have to be very honest with you. I'm allergic to cats. He said, then the cat has to go. About a week went by. Nothing happened with the cat. I said, Steve, I have to do something about the cat. I was completely stuffed up. So he said, fine, do whatever you have to do as far as the cat. I called the animal control. The woman I spoke to had basically reassured me as far as not putting the animals to sleep. I never would have agreed to do what I did if I had known the animal would have been put to sleep. And this is what I found out from him a few days later, that the cat had been killed. I didn't know that. I would not have done that. I called the animal control. They said they would come and get the cat, which they did.
Did you tell him you were doing that?
The night before, he said, let's do what we have to do with the cat tomorrow. And
Let's is a contraction for let us.
Right.
So that's your first mistake. It's his cat. Let him take care of it.
Right, you're right.
So did you tell him that I'm calling animal control? Or you just figured that by his statement, let us take care of it, that let's take care of it, that he was giving you carte blanche to do whatever you wanted to do?
Yes, that's basically what.
So you didn't tell him what you were doing?
The night before we had discussed it, he said, let's do whatever we have to do tomorrow to take care of the cat.
Listen, my question to you is, you didn't say, I'm calling animal control.
No, he was not home. He was out for a job interview at that particular time that I called.
Now let's hear your version of the cat.
That cat was my children's cat. Okay. Now, I did not tell her to take it to the pound. We did not discuss it the night before.
No, okay. But let's talk about
I said
Mr. Robinson.
We need to find a place for the cat.
So you did have discussions about the cat because
Yes,
of her
ma'am.
allergies?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And her allergies weren't getting any better?
Right.
And at that point, you anticipated that you were going to be together, I assume?
Right.
The night before, you say you had no discussion, and your only discussion with her was, we're going to have to find something to do with the cat.
Right. But not take it to the pound. No way.
Okay. What did you say to her about the cat?
I said that, yes, we need to find a place for it to live. Adopt.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much what she says. She says that she had no idea that they were going to euthanize this cat, and she thought that they were going to find it a home. What happened when you came home and found the cat not there? Tell me exactly.
She said to me, you're going to be mad at me. And I said, why? She said, I put the cat in the box, stuck it up at the rental office, and called the animal control.
Okay. So you immediately called animal control.
I couldn't get through to where the cat was, so I called Genora. And they said,
What you called Genora for?
because she had access to a phone longer than I did. I was busy.
Mr.
And
Robinson,
also
Mr. Robinson, listen to me carefully. Somebody tells you, the woman that you're living with tells you that your children's cat she's just given to animal control. You are totally taken aback. I don't care what else you have to do. You pick up the phone and you call. You don't call the old girlfriend to tell her to take care of your dirty business. I mean, I don't know. Genora, I want you to wake up, Genora. Just listen carefully, Genora. When did you finally call animal control, sir?
The next day, because she stated to me that there was going to be put for adoption. That she
You called the next day.
Right.
And are you telling me that the next day they told you that they put the animal to sleep?
No, not at all. We could not get through. I couldn't even find the city where the cat was at. I
when
called
did you
Genora.
find? Don't tell me you called Genora. How old are you? How old are you?
41.
What are you calling her for? Take care of your own business. When did you finally find out that the cat had been euthanized, sir?
On the 5th day.
On day 5.
Right.
You finally got unbusy enough to find out where the cat was.
Yes, ma'am.
And they told you after 5 days the cat had been put down.
On the 4th day, it was euthanized.
Okay. Was it about the time that he found out the cat had been put to sleep that he told you to leave?
No, he found out after I left. After he asked me to leave, he then found out where the cat was located, tried to get the cat back, and then found out that the cat was no longer alive.
Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
How much after she left?
2 days.
Hmm?
1 day.
1 day. 1 day.
Yeah.
Could you sit down?
Sorry.
So you waited until after she left to find out where your cat was? Or you managed to find out where your cat was 1 day after
Right.
she left?
Immediately after she left.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
If you knew that he was making payments on the card on your behalf because you had no money, then you knew it wasn't a gift. So stop pulling my chain.
closed captioning sponsored in part by Judge Judy. Pam Goldgart is suing her short-term boyfriend, Steve Robinson, for keeping her stuff after she moved out. Steve is countersuing Pam for rent and putting his cat to sleep.
All right. I'm going to make the following order. All of your property is to be made available to you within 72 hours of this court date.
Okay.
I am awarding Mr. Robeson $12 for the phone bill.
Okay.
Mr. Robeson, I was appalled when I read your countersuit where it said she took your cat and without your permission, without your children's permission, had the cat put to sleep. I mean, it sounded like something that a psychotic would do. But now that I hear this story, it seems to me that you had discussions. She was ill. The woman that you were living with at the time couldn't tolerate the cat. You tried to find an alternative home. I don't believe that she actually knew that the cat was going to be put to sleep at the time that she gave the cat to animal control. And I found that if you were so sincerely interested in having this cat returned to you, the very day that you found out that the cat was gone, you would have done everything in your power to locate it. It was not 5 days, not 4 days, not 3 days, not 2 days. That very day, you would have been in your car scouring every animal shelter in the city to try to find it. Not telling me that you're too busy and you called the old girlfriend to try to get a number. So I think that your countersuit is a lot of baloney. That's the judgment of the court. All the property within 72 hours and $12 for you for the phone bill. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
The woman's a cat killer. I never gave her permission to do this. I was never going to get rid of the cat anyway. I was going to keep that cat. She was going before the cat was.
I didn't kill his cat. I never would have done that.
She needs to get her stuff back and get on with her life and put this all behind her. It was a big mistake.
And now the next case.
Parties on Moore versus Ryan. Step forward, please.
Hairdresser Rosie Moore claims manicurist Deborah Lynn Walton charged clothes on her credit card during the time she was engaged to Rosie's son, 29-year-old Timothy Moore. The engagement ended. Now Rosie wants Deborah Lynn to pay her back.
Mrs. Moore, according to your complaint, the defendant was engaged to your son.
Right.
And that while they were engaged, you allowed her to charge some clothes that she wanted on your credit card.
Right.
Son?
Yes, that's my son, Tim.
They broke up.
Yes.
She didn't pay the bill.
Right.
She says clothes were a gift.
Yes.
Okay. So let's hear about it.
We worked together in the same salon. She complained she had no clothes to wear because she had lost several pounds, and she was always complaining. Anyways, as a friend, as a future mother-in-law, I took her in like a daughter, took her into my own home, matter of fact, to live with me. Anyways, I took her, I told her I had this credit card that I don't have any expenses on, that I knew we could go in, we could charge, and you can make the payments on it. So we went in, she bought about several little pieces that mixed and matched and made about 4 or 5 outfits, over $300 worth. That was fine. I signed. She took the clothes home, and we were fine, and she was going to make the payment. She made several payments. Well, after a few payments that she had made, she had took on the back of the statements and changed the address to her address.
Does that sound right to you?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And also, I guess, gave herself authority to have authorization on my credit card, which I knew nothing about.
Now you get a big bill.
Now at Christmas time, I go to use it again to find something for presents. And the lady tells me that with my charge, plus cash payment, that I would have my credit card maxed out. And I couldn't believe it because I hadn't used it since I had used it last on her.
Did you ascertain how much the balance was?
Over $700, $713.
You have a statement?
Yes.
Can I see it, please?
The $713 was that she
okay, let me see what you have.
owed me, and then that's the proof of the last couple of payments that I have made. And that's the balance of today and the June payment also.
You say the balance was $713.35. Is that correct?
In December, right.
Now, before you dig a hole for yourself and try to explain to me why this was a gift, I have a few questions.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If this was a gift, why would you have anything to do with the bills?
For one, her son, she would, call at home and say that she, was short of money, she needed to pay this bill or that bill. Make sure that you bring something for that. He would make out. I never had a checking account. I never even made payments. I would give cash to him and he would make the payments.
What you're telling me is it was he who paid the bill?
Correct.
Your name, sir?
Timothy Moore.
Mr. Moore, the defendant says that you were the one who actually paid this bill on a monthly basis for a period of time. Look at me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that true?
No.
Was the account changed in her name or in his name?
Neither. It was it was always in my name. She gave herself authorization to charge on my account.
Her, not him.
Right.
Not your son.
No.
I'd love to explain.
I'm ready.
It all started when I came back from Dallas, Texas. We were open arms, welcome back, into Rosie's home. And at the time, I was working with basically a zero clientele. I had no money, and that's when the initial purchase was made.
Well, just tell me how that came about. She said to you, I have a credit card that has a zero balance at this department store. You can find yourself some things.
Right.
The bills would come, she would give you the bill, and you would pay it.
No, I personally would not pay it. Timothy would. Because I didn't make any money.
Just a second. So he would pay it because you weren't earning any money at that time, but
Correct.
you knew he was making the payments on
Correct.
the card.
Correct.
Well, therefore, madam, you knew that this wasn't a gift. If you knew that he was making payments on the card on your behalf because you had no money, then you knew it wasn't a gift. So stop pulling my chain. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $713.35. That's all.
Without excuse, you may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the... This is Judge Judy.
Parties on James versus McDaniel. Step forward, please.
47-year-old filmmaker Jimmy James claims 32-year-old filmmaker Matthew McDaniel didn't pay him for footage used in Matthew's movie about rapper Eazy-E.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 140 on the calendar in the matter of James versus McDaniel. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Copyright infringement is not my strong suit. But there's got to be a common sense answer to this. You two gentlemen are filmmakers, is that right?
Yes.
Whose funeral?
Eazy-E's a rapper, a star.
Okay. And you wanted to use some of his footage in some sort of documentary that you were making?
That's correct.
What was the agreement that you had with him?
Well, the agreement was that I wanted $100, but...
$100 or what?
A second.
$100 a second. That's more than I make. Go ahead.
Well, anyway...
You sure? You sure?
Go ahead.
Anyway, I was covering a funeral of Eazy-E, and I called Matthew, and I told him I had some footage of Eazy funeral. And he said, great, that, you know, I'm getting ready to work on a documentary on Eazy. And I said, great. And I said, if you want to use some of the footage, I would sell it to you. Just let me know what part you need. So what I did, I used a half-inch tape.
And receive you agreed to sell him
on it, but
what you did for $100 a second.
Perhaps the greatest showroom
How
in the
many
country.
seconds did you use?
About 5 seconds.
Real cases.
And receive
You say you
a free
used 5
Electrolux dish.
Did you agree to pay him $100 a second?
Absolutely not.
Now, what do you say you agreed to pay? Would you speak in English, please?
I told him I needed a few seconds of the footage, and we agreed on $250.
Now, am I correct that you say you had an agreement, some sort of written agreement?
Yeah, I had him sign a general release the day before the program aired.
Let me see it. You remember signing this general release, sir?
I signed a release. There wasn't anything on it, but just a couple of lines on there. And that's when we got into an argument. I asked him, where's the logo? Because that logo wasn't on there when I signed it. And a lot of stuff on there wasn't on there. And that release...
Just a minute. Mr. James, you're in business, right?
Right.
You don't sign something that's in blank unless all the blanks are filled in. Just for the future. Future reference. You don't sign this unless it's all filled in.
But I was at a disadvantage. My car had broke down. I needed money. He knew that, and I told him that. He attacked me with the money. Well, you should come and take the money because you need your car fixed and sign it. The only way that you would get paid is you sign this before they put it on the air. Then he had edited everything before it was
If you
aired.
hadn't signed the release, sir, he couldn't have used it.
The release wasn't signed.
Listen to what I'm saying to you, sir. He needed your release. And all I'm saying to you, I don't know why you're arguing with me. You think I'm wrong when I say to you, as a business person, you don't sign documents where there are blanks. Am I right?
Right.
Period. Mr. James, when you signed this release, did he give you any money?
He gave me $250.
Okay.
But that's not what we agreed on.
Just a
He said he
second.
was going to pay me the rest of the money after he got the money from the record company. He got the money and didn't even pay me. He didn't even call me or anything.
The day that you signed this release, did you get money? The answer is yes.
Yeah, I got $250.
And you
But it
took
was
the-
a due of another $250.
That's what you say. He says no. He says that you had agreed on $250.
He's a liar. Okay, I'll prove to you that everything I'm telling you is accurate. First of all, it should have been $250 on that release, and it should have said what it was for.
Absolutely.
Now, that was before the program aired, and he knows how this works. When I get paid, he gets paid. This time, it took a little longer than usual, but they paid me. I called him up, and then that's when he's talking about $500 and all this stuff. And I said, no way. It's not going to happen. You can take me to court. You can do what you want to do.
Did you pay him by check?
I paid him cash and got a receipt on his company letterhead.
Let me see it.
He came over and apologized after we had had an argument, took the cash. Then 2 days later, he calls me talking about I owe him a beta tape, something crazy, and he wanted more money. So, you know, you can see on there clearly, I didn't force him to take the money or
Mr.
sign
James, you signed this. Paid in full, $250 cash. You signed it.
Yeah, but we were supposed to get back together when he can owe me another $250.
It says paid in full.
but he still owed me money.
Sir. You see this receipt?
Yes.
It says paid in full. Has your name on it. It was all written at the same time. Why did you sign something that says paid in full?
For 5 seconds. He used, I have a tape to prove he used 18 seconds of my footage. He still owed me money for the footage that he didn't pay me for.
What was the date that it aired?
March 26th, 6:30 p.m.
March 26th. Did you see it, sir?
Yes, I taped it.
Let me just see this, because I'm curious.
May I see something right quick?
No, you don't have to say anything, sir.
Okay.
This is not, we're not reinventing the wheel here. This is not a very difficult case. The program aired in March. You signed a receipt in May of 1998, paid in full. You just testified, Mr. James, that you had, I don't care whether it says 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Is this your piece of the funeral?
Yeah.
I think Easy's death.
Okay. What you're saying, sir, is that that piece was more than 5 seconds.
Right.
All right. And what I'm telling you is, if that piece aired in March, you signed a receipt for payment in full May, 2 months later.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
he grabbed me under my arms, which left a bruise, and you're just going to give me what I need. He pushed me up against the wall and held me by my throat and popped me in my left arm. And it
Jimmy James says Matthew McDaniel didn't pay for all the footage he used in a 30-minute film on rapper Eazy-E's life.
What did you do? Slow motion that, sir?
Slow-moed it, yeah.
I assume that that's what you did because it looked like it was going in slow motion. So I don't know how many seconds was it in real time and how many seconds was it in slow motion time. It really doesn't make any difference, Mr. James. You signed a receipt paid in full.
For 5
in May. Paid in full. The lawsuit's dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I said, big fat bear, you. You're a dog. You know, you're a rip-off person. You know that? This is not over with. I'm going after him in the record company because I didn't give them permission to use 12 seconds of my footage that I did not get paid for. We had agreement. He's a liar.
And now the next case.
Parties on McKnight Robinson versus Robinson. Step forward, please.
27-year-old accountant V.L. McKnight Robinson says her estranged husband, 29-year-old Brian Robinson, assaulted her and refuses to pay back money she loaned him.
Mrs. Robinson, you married the defendant in 1997, according to your complaint. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are suing him for some loans that you allegedly made to him during the course of your marriage.
Yes, ma'am.
And also for an assault.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, why don't you tell me about the loans first?
Well, in my profession, I do a lot of traveling with my job because I also own my own collection agency. So for my purpose of making more money, I decided to relocate the family to Chicago, which is where we grew up. And when he got to Chicago with me and my family, he wasn't able to find a job. So it was very painful to see him go through things and not being able to have money of his own. So I said, what are you going to do? I mean, he says, well, I'm going to try to work. And I'm like, well, you're not looking hard enough for me. And he's like, well, okay, I'll go to school. So I said, where are you going to go to school? And he's like, I'll go to some technical school. He then started school in November of '97, and he needed money to get the tools that was necessary because
What kind of technical school was this?
Auto diesel mechanic.
How much in total did you give him for school?
A little bit over $1,100.
And you say there was an understanding that he was supposed to repay you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right, sir?
We had an understanding, but my belief is that I shouldn't have to pay her back anything because we were married. I figured one person should help the other.
Okay. But was your understanding, as she indicated, that these were loans?
She said they were loans, but it's like...
Let me stop you right there. She said they were loans. She said, I will loan you the money. Is that what she said?
Correct.
And you took the money.
I did.
But now it's your position that since you were married, it couldn't have been a loan. Is that your position?
I don't feel that I owe her for us trying to build a life together. That's basically, that's all I my position is.
But right now, Mr. Robinson, you're not building a life together. You're separated, and you're going to get a divorce, right?
That's probably true.
So that if I take your position as accurate, reasonable, and if you were standing here as two people who were living together, building a life together, and she was suing you for the money she said she loaned to you, I might say, well, you know, he's got the point to that. They're building a life together. She's going to benefit from his trade, right? Because she'll be working, bringing in money, supporting the household. But right now, she's not going to benefit at all from the $1,100 she lent you. How's she going to benefit from that?
At this point, she cannot benefit from it.
All right. So that's the bulk of the money that you claim and hear that he owes you, other than for the assault, correct?
Actually, from the assault, I had the medical bills, and then also, because also he wasn't working, and his mother came to stay with us in my house for Christmas season, and he says, well, sweetheart, you know, I don't have any money to buy my mom anything. He says, I promise I'll pay you back. And I said, well, what kind of money are you talking about? He says, whatever I see I like for her, I'll pick up, and you charge it so I know how much I owe you back.
So how much did you charge for your mother?
Close to $300, maybe a little more. I mean,
How much did he charge for his mother?
It was a little bit over $300, almost closer to $400.
And that was your arrangement, that you were going to pay her back for that?
Yes, it was.
All right, let's get to the assault, please. I want to hear about this assault, because the bulk of the money that you're suing for is really for not only your medical bills for the assault, but also for the fact that he assaulted you to begin with.
Right.
So let me hear about that.
When I told him I wasn't giving him any more money, he's like, well, I already got my money that you gave me for my March tuition, but you said that you're going to continue to help me through school no matter what. And I said, yes, but the condition was that you was going to work and try to help yourself too. And it got to the point where he blocked me into my kitchen the way that my house is cut. And I said, well, just get out of my face. I don't want to talk anymore. I'm not going to change my mind.
That is not the way that happened.
I'll let you tell your side of the story, sir.
Okay.
And I pushed him out of my way because he's, without my heels, he's much taller than me. And I pushed him out my way. I said, I'm not going to talk about it. So I went to my room, and he came after me. He waited about 5-10 minutes. He's like, well, we need to talk about this, because after this, I'm going to need money for this, because he never had money to give back and forth to school. And I said, I'm just not going to do it. So he grabbed me under my arms, which left a bruise, and you're just going to give me what I need. And I said, no, I'm not. So when we started pushing and shoving, which was in front of my two smaller kids, he pushed me up against the wall and held me by my throat and popped me in my left eye. And it.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You're 29 years old, sir. You're supposed to be at the earning stage in your life, you know, not at the learning stage in your life.
That's true.
There comes a time you got to grow up.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Brian Robinson admits to hitting his estranged wife, V.L. Robinson. She wants him to pay her medical bills and loans.
You have a photograph?
Yes, ma'am.
I see it, please. You went to the emergency room of the hospital at the same day, on the same day?
Well, not the same day, because I don't drive, and because of the condition of my eye, I couldn't drive.
So when did you go? The next day?
I went the very next day. My sisters came and got me.
All right, sir. How'd she get a black eye?
When I went to leave out the door, she grabbed me by my arm and she pulled me back into the door. And I stood in the door and I pushed her back inside the door because I asked her not to embarrass me while I was coming outside. I left the house. When I came back into the house that evening, she grabbed me by my arm again, and I asked her not to touch me. When she slapped me in my face, that's when I grabbed her. I grabbed her and I pushed her to the ground. And that's when I hit her. But other than that, it could have been resolved. I mean, I asked her to talk about it. I asked her not to even grab me or to touch me the way that she was doing.
Mr. Robinson, how old are you, sir?
I'm 29.
When was the last time you held down a full-time job?
In July.
And how long did you have that job?
I had the job for 2 months because the company was small and it didn't
Prior to
produce
the
much
2
money.
months of holding down a full-time job, during the marriage, when did you hold down a full-time job?
Before we moved back to Chicago.
You can understand her frustration, can't you?
Yes, ma'am, I can, but
So, I mean, what did you do all day, sir?
the reason I went to school was so that I could have a better way of looking for a job where I wouldn't have to go out and search and work temporary and part-time jobs.
Well, let me ask you
And
this
that's the
question,
reason-
Mr. Robinson. Do you have children?
Yes, we have one child together.
And this technical school that you were going to, what were the hours of your technical school?
8 to 2:30.
Okay. You know what I think, sir? If you go to school from 8 to 2:30, at 3 o'clock you should be at a job so that you are employed and assisting and bringing home money to assist and support yourself and your child.
That is true. but
So
when-
why didn't you do that?
I worked at a grocery store for $5 an hour.
Yes.
I worked at a grocery store, and all I heard was complaints from her as to how much money I was making.
Just a second. Did you ever complain that he wasn't earning enough money doing this part-time work?
Because I did, and I'm going to say yes, and that's because when he got his check was $80. By the time he cashed it, it was $70-something. By the time he bought his little trinkets that men get, cigarettes, beer, all that, he would come to me by the time tuition time came around. Hey, where's my tuition money? But didn't you just get a check?
That's not true.
It is true.
That is not
It
true.
is true. It is true.
All right, look,
And
it is
just
clear. It
ridiculous.
is absolutely clear to me that this marriage is going nowhere but to the courts eventually. Mr. Robinson, you clearly made an agreement with your wife to pay her back certain monies that she advanced to you for the school and certainly for things that you bought for your mother. You also, sir, put your hands on her, and she was pretty seriously injured according to the emergency room report. You can't do that. That's unacceptable.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Are you working now?
I do odds and end jobs on people's cars. And before I did not have the full knowledge that I have now to do these things, and now, you know, it's getting better for me.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm really pleased that you're getting yourself a profession. You're preparing yourself so that you have a profession where you can earn a living. In
And
the
that's all
meantime,
I've been trying to do.
in the
I
me-
mean, this-
You're
this had-
29 years old, sir. You're supposed to be at the earning stage in your life, you know, not at the learning stage in your life.
That's true.
You got to, you know, there comes a time you got to grow up.
Everybody makes mistakes, and I have made mistakes, and I do try to make up for my mistakes.
How long have you been separated? Since March?
Yes.
How much money have you given her to support your child?
I gave her $125 when I sold my vehicle to help her pay for some of her bills. I did give her that money, and she knows she can't deny it.
Well, he gave me that after 3 weeks after he was gone. But our daughter's birthday just passed, and he didn't get her anything. Didn't even call her.
Listen, sir, if you're doing odds and ends jobs, I assume that you're doing odds and ends jobs for cash?
Yes.
Good. You better start saving your cash. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,000. Thank you. That's all.
Judge. Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, man.
यह काइट मेरे रिश्के कमर तूने पहली नजर जब नजर से मिलाई मजा आ गया मेरे रिश्के कमर तूने पहली